what it takes to rock the mic right. Seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling.
But Ish, what can't be fleeting?
And then you're letting him lead you. It doesn't matter how you feel.
Saying he's led by God, but you feel like God is not telling y'all that. Do you still follow him?
You said something interesting, Ish. You just said like men don't think the way that women do. So it almost sounds like you don't fully trust their expertise. So how could you successfully be led by
So the
women?
majority of men don't have kids. Y'all are picking wrong. Y'all are literally picking the minority.
Every man that's on this panel, y'all have more kids than all of us women.
51% of black men are single and childless.
Excuses for the statistics. The statistics don't go well in your favor. So you say things like, okay, are they shooting blanks? Or they
because men, I don't feel like men are overall passive aggressive. The majority of men. Do you think that silence is that passive aggressive? Because we will do that.
Yeah, because there's niggas that'll use that as a way to trigger a woman. Like, because a lot of time a woman will tell you, like, when you're silent, it makes me feel like I'm ignored. So a nigga will do that intentionally.
Yeah, no, I'm just because I didn't agree with the passive aggressive part until Mary said that. I'm like, okay, I can see men and be like, you know what? I ain't saying nothing else. Will unsubscribing from the Democratic Party help fix Black America?
Let's just unsubscribe. No, you got to know why.
I don't think so.
That's the only thing that get black people together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like
Wow.
that.
What I think will fix is if black people truly understood politics.
Because for a guy, because listen, it's so many different reasons for a man to want to hang out with his friends.
Adrian, I'm not gonna let that slide. I heard you. Why do you think that it's older single women who share that opinion?
Sometimes that's the case. There has to be
Explain
balance.
what White History Month is.
It's honoring the achievements of the greatest ethnic group in human history.
Wow.
I think all of that shit deserves a put them in the bathroom.
Would you rather have a whore of a daughter or a gay son?
Let's see here.
bruh.
Because if she's a hoe, that ain't my problem. Hell, she just be a hoe. Shit.
That's the whore. Definitely. Like,
yeah, it's going to college a waste of time.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't think for biology.
It's ridiculous.
And can I just piggyback on that?
Read this for me, Q.
Okay, $5 super chat from Omega Green. Depends. go for STEM, medical or law. However, if you go for BS degrees like communications, is that supposed to be policies? Or criminal
Poli-sci, political science.
Poli-sci, okay. Or criminal justice, it's wasted time.
Final thought.
When you take a man's time, it's like taking his money. When you take a man's money, it's like taking his time. Simply put, we want something for it. If you're not interested, don't go out. Sis, hit me up. Let's clear your coochie balance.
Do women, should they still be covered by men? Do women need to understand what it takes for men to feel like they should be covered by men?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, women don't value men anymore, and it's evident.
For women to admit that they're not equal to their men, women have to come to that conclusion that you are not equal to your man. Are you for spanking? Let's go around the room, yes or no. Q, you for spanking?
Absolutely.
Age.
Okay, so big kids don't get spankings?
You gotta fight them niggas.
There's no difference between divorced women and single mothers. The man will, in both circumstances, suffer comparably with no benefit to himself. The benefits don't outweigh the cost.
But it's still better to go with someone who hasn't gone through that. It's still better to not choose them.
Have men been getting over on household duties all this time?
Listen, but I don't touch a trash bag to save my life.
So let me ask you, could you and your wife switch roles in what you do versus what for that person hold y'all back or let y'all go?
Physically, can't nobody hold me back.
Ain't no such thing as a fair fight. But Ish, what can't be fleeting?
Direction, choose your own path.
You know, this is the home of We Major, Me Frosty, Unfamous, and the restricted clothing brands. Let's get it.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basic. Pay attention, stay alert, and remember, choose your own path.
Direction, choose your own path.
Don't just wear anything. Wear garments that mean something. You got hats. We got sweatshirts. You got jackets. We even got hoodies. Let's not forget our classic tees. Direction, choose your own path.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basic. Pay attention, stay alert, and remember, choose your own path.
This Might Be Risky sponsorship package is here. Have your ad run on our live streaming episodes, linked in the video description and attached to our many hot take clips. The channel is fast growing with thousands of views and subscribers. Don't miss your chance to grow your business on one of the fastest growing platforms on YouTube. Join the family today. This Might Be Risky. Email us at thismightberisky@gmail.com if interested. #Indeed, #Do the right thing.
Yo, like, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. DJ Hemp Stamp here, we in the building. POV. Ladies first and foremost.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on. Perfect.
Y'all make sure to uphold stereotypes. That's for damn sure. Nay, what's popping?
Perfect.
What's up? What's up, hey everybody?
What's goody? You good?
Dr. G.
Hey.
Dr. G represented, man.
Nah, for real, she did.
Let's represent it.
We got bruises too to show for it. I'm sure. Des, you too? Yep.
And they held down the silence.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Tell you, boy.
Oh, yeah, I was waiting on kickball. I ain't nobody tell y'all to get into before kickball.
Uncle Brick, what up? Hey man, kickball. We ain't had no energy for kickball, boy.
I forgot all about kickball. That's what I was really there for. I forgot all about it.
Dr. G was competing like a motherfucker though. You was in everything, Dr. G.
Yeah, except basketball.
Oh yeah, except basketball. Basketball was kind of like guys only a little bit. It wasn't that many girls that wanted to play, but Dr. G was putting in work, man, for sure, man. Salute. We was watching the videos on. Was you here on Monday?
Yeah, I was in the chat. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you was. I told them niggas you'd be having them hanging TVs and all that. You know what I mean? Des, what's popping?
Hey.
How you? What's goody?
I'm great.
Why you shame your teammate like that on the video?
What you talking about? What video?
Why you shame your teammate like that?
What? Oh, you talking about Quan?
Mm-hmm. You know who I'm talking about.
I was like, get up, Quan. You gotta get up, Quan. It don't look good. We don't look good as a unit right now. Get up.
Get up, Quan. You can do it.
That wasn't right, man. You know, we had adult field day and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Needless to say, niggas is wild old. Like mad old. But everybody, this is my cousin Asha. Asha, what's poppin'?
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
You already, man. She kind of new to this, but she got the gift for gab. You feel me?
You already.
Lex, what's shaking?
Howdy, y'all.
Hey, Lex.
What's popping? Everything?
Yeah. Even if it wasn't, I mean, what we gonna do, right?
Indeed, Cowabunga, right?
Niggas meet up. That's it.
Let me show y'all. Hold on. Let me see. You ready, Des? You ready? Dr. G, you ready, Dr. G? They cheating already, Des. Your team cheating like a motherfucker. Yo, kick their ass.
That is crazy.
It was so uneven, Hamp, and you know it. That team of 4 men was crazy.
Oh yeah, y'all definitely already cleared up. Y'all don't want equality. That's for damn sure. I don't want to hear not nan woman make no argument for equality ever again.
I fought the good fight.
You know what I'm saying? No more arguments for equality, please. But this, Dr. G, you was working in this one too.
Oh yeah, I had to. Yeah.
And I'm doing suicides.
Mm-hmm. Look at Dr.
got
G
out.
right here.
I got out so late. What was I waiting for?
Class. There go Des right there. You gotta get low on your back pedal.
I was trying. You know, Strata was coaching, so he was like, "Look, when you do your back pedal, look at love, girl. You better go."
Mufasa, a big ass nigga, bro.
That's why everybody hurting. You got them doing bear crawls in the grass.
Mufasa was like, "Never say die."
That shit hard as hell.
Yep.
This was the hardest, I think.
Like
yes, it was. Yes, absolutely.
Most certainly.
But y'all was competing like shit, though. But I just want to get to the part where Des shame Quan. That's the main part. Des, what you got to say for yourself, man?
Yo, this is the thing. Quan was like, I'm gonna do the bear crawl, and me and Chuck gonna do the bear roll. Y'all could just chill. And I was like, we don't look good as a unit right now. Like,
crazy.
Look at this. What are we supposed to do with this? And then I was cheering him on, but then he just stopped.
Look at Des.
Wait.
Yo, Des, why did they both? What sickened you the most? That they both fell?
No, it was because Quan. Look at this. Look how bad we look. Look at this. I said, you're making it worse by sagging your butt. Get up, Quan. Get up. I'm pissed. Look at this. Rolling around on the ground with each other.
Either.
Look at this. Chuck ass out. I'm just like, what is going on?
Who is that?
Yo.
He looked like battered chicken.
Listen, Des is super competitive. She was like over there looking at the scoreboard and she was like, okay, we need team 8 to lose. I'm like, well, damn, Des, I'm on team 8. She was like, listen, it's about the numbers. It's about the numbers.
He literally walking him like a barrel. He walking him. He walking him
At
like
this
a
point,
barrel.
I was like, damn, at least pinched a bit, and then he switched. Yo, then I was like, it's all right, guys, good job. We went from third half all the way to dead ass last.
Y'all did good. Y'all did good, man. But god damn, man, you shamed the man.
Is this in slow mo or this is how slow he really moves?
This is slow mo, yeah.
I gotta do my boy like that. He look like he's struggling.
Quan was done for.
Look,
Done
I was clapping.
for.
You see, I was clapping.
Yeah, you had no choice. You already shamed him. Hold on, Dr. G.
Dr. G, was your biceps and triceps sore? You could, because mine were.
Dr.
Oh,
G.
they done dragged you.
They dragging him. Yo.
And listen, the furthest thing from my mind was let the rope go. Like, just let the rope go. I'm thinking
Nah, you ain't thinking of that. Look at this team.
They start dragging y'all through the mud.
They had at least a solid 500 pounds of muscle on their opposite team, though. They cheated. Then they had people galloping on the bear crawl. I was pissed. I was like, they cheated.
Look, I got trouble by Strada. I got trouble by...
You were still pulling though, Dr. G. So what you think, Oz, man? Why you ain't come out there?
Word. I definitely would have been a competitive one on there. I would have been running through the grass doing them what y'all had them doing, planks, bear crawls.
Bear crawls.
I would have been all with it.
We did 3-legged race, 4-legged race, right?
Yeah.
We did sack race, all that shit, man. That shit was dope as hell, man. Salute to the ladies. That's what I want to get out the way, man. I don't want to hear y'all speak about I could do whatever you could do. I could do better, equality, job, get paid as much. I don't want to hear none of that shit ever again. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Y'all don't deserve it. Okay. Let's get that clear, man. Y'all just keep doing admin work. Let us do the shit that make a lot of money. All right? Deal? Deal. It ain't have to be a long, drawn out conversation. All right? Y'all continue.
I think they're gonna come prepared next time.
With what? You take testosterone?
Nah, we gonna prepare.
You got a phone call out. There you go. How y'all gonna prepare? What y'all gonna do?
Y'all gonna go to the gym, right?
I can't even. I don't even know if I could do it again. Niggas didn't even make it to the party, and if they did, they wasn't partying. Niggas was hurt.
I said yesterday on your panel in the chat, it's crazy how everybody got in shape for Houston and then reverted back to going out of shape before field day.
Nah, that's the thing though. It was more people competing. What they realized is pointing at niggas in the ring and laughing about how tired they was. They them niggas. They niggas. That's what they understand. Saad was supposed to race. Saad just chill. Like, y'all, let me tell y'all something, man. Leave that equality shit to the grown folk, okay?
I was waiting for kickball.
Saudi. Okay, Saudi, I gotta do it. Hey, y'all, I gotta do it, Saudi. She said that she couldn't race because she had on new shoes. These are my new shoes. I'm like, well, I put on my new shoes too. So let's go ahead and let's race.
I'm still trying to recover just from being there. I didn't have it in me. I told you, you won off the.
This nigga's scared.
I told her she won. Like, I wasn't about to do that.
But you was talking spicy though. See, that's the thing.
Next time, I'll be prepared. I'll be prepared next time.
This nigga's scared.
You was talking crazy though, Saad. You told us how much track you ran 20 years ago.
Man, you smell something? I definitely smell something out here. I smell.
We not about to do that. I ain't say all that. I did not say all that. I
You
said
didn't
I
say-
ran track. I ain't never say I was collecting trophies. I ain't
You
say all
said-
that.
We said race. You said me. You said I run track. You said I'm with it.
And when it came to it, my body was already hurting and I had to fold. So
Also, keep it tall. When we used to race back in the day, niggas racing socks anyway. So that's not even viable.
Yeah, I was gonna race barefoot.
yeah, I'm never going to say what really happened, but
The
I
Callie, when you seen Callie, you like, damn, she fast.
first of all, I knew Callie probably had me on the workout video she was doing. I said, "Oh yeah, this is
Jump rope.
my league."
Damn, man. Let me find out, man. You like the face fight, man. Didn't you say you could fight?
Here we go.
Hey,
I've
Saad, that jacket. That jacket.
Sorry, I never said that. I never said that.
You say you could fight or couldn't fight?
I mean, if I gotta protect myself, yeah,
I'm saying you could bang. Can you bang? Yes or no? Let me know.
it depends
On what?
on the day and the person. You ain't gonna win everything, but I'm gonna try.
So you saying if you talking shit to niggas, just have Callie show up so you could chill.
What?
Just have Callie show up so you could chill and go back to recluse and shit like that.
Oh no, I'm gonna stand my ground regardless.
Come on, nobody want to hear that. It's over with. Nobody want to hear that, Saad. It's over.
Hey,
You
like,
can't
I'm
talk.
not about to cop out and cop a plea.
Nah, you can't talk that shit no more. You copped out on the race. It's over with.
That's fine. We can do that.
Top 5 rappers in the world said, "We don't believe you. You need more people."
Y'all got it.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. What's up, Dr. G?
I just want to say that I decided to wear the winner's treasure from the field day. Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The winner's treasure.
Chill out, hood thing.
Shout out
like that,
shout out
like
to
that,
Sada,
shit like
Mufasa,
Perfect.
Unpopular Truth. Shout out to my team.
Perfect.
Team Nate.
Team Nate in the building. That's what's up, man. Damn, man. Niggas is sore, hurting. Yo, I ain't work out in 2 days. My coach called me, said, "Yo, where you at?" I said, "Yo, I can't lift my arm up, coach." I don't know what I was doing. You know, I think every time I try to shoot, for one, I airball and my arm don't work for real. So my shit was so sore yesterday, I couldn't even pick my shit up, man. They said I got 4 more months. So we're gonna see, man. But basketball, all the basketball niggas got a hush going forward. Period. They all got a hush going forward. We probably would have won that shit. The best basketball player there, James hurt he popped his Achilles. But UT, Unpopular Truth, could ball though. For sure. But we was gonna win. You know what it was? We fouled too hard for them niggas. You know what I'm saying? They can't take all the punishment, man. Salute to my man LaSalle. You know what I mean? Mr. Fantastic and shit like that.
Brother.
Yeah, man. So we're but yeah, man, it was fun. It was fun. Salute everybody in the chat. Let me just see you in the chat real quick. Let me go fast. Mel, what up? Mr. Williams, what up? Marcus, I see you. Nightbot in the building. Terrell, SBC podcast in the building. Dr. G was in the chat. I got Mel already. Salute. Miss Bell's in the building. God bless. Good to see you. Callie was in the chat. I like it. My brother Marcus Evans. Salute. Uncle Rick was popping. First calls in the building. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all tell a friend, man. Rainbow Kid was popping. Good to see you, man. Trigger warning. Expect the unexpected. DJ Vapors in the building. Trigger warning. I got you, homeboy. Shalom. Shorty King in the building. My brother CJ, my brother Strata. Make sure y'all tune in to the Raw Bunch. They be getting it popping. Somebody please drop the link in the chat. You heard? The second in the building. So I was in the chat. Now she on the panel. We about to get it popping. I like it. Ray Sean in the building. Salute. Keeps it 100. Appreciate you for always leaving a comment after the show. That helps the algorithm a lot. The second in the building. Travel One. Salute. Salute. My brother LaSalle was shaking. Did the right thing on the basketball court. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Mr. Williams. I got Mr. Williams already. Sporty's in the building. I got DJ Vapors. Let me see. Jay Jones was popping. Fifi, salute for coming through. You know what I mean? Doing your thing and all that. Let me see. Quan. Quan was goody. O'Shea, what up, man? Let's get it. Black Gold, what up, kid? Good to see you. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Maisie was popping. So, all right. So equality's out the window. Good to get that out the way. Now, have y'all seen this case that been brewing? It was majority men today. We had a great show regarding the case Carmelo Anthony. Did y'all see about this case? Did y'all hear about this case?
Yeah,
I've heard briefly about it.
Earlier.
Huh?
Go ahead, Des.
No, I just said I heard briefly about it. I didn't watch any of the news or read anything about it, but I heard briefly about it.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yep. I heard about it from the stream earlier, but I hadn't heard about it prior.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
I heard about it too.
Okay.
Talk around here.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question that might not be? I just have to ask. So the little brother, his name is Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
Like the Carmelo Anthony that play ball and his son. Is that right?
Yes, but his name's spelled with a K.
Wow. Okay. Because I was confused for a minute. I was like, I think this would have made bigger headlines if this was Lala and Carmelo Anthony. Like, this would have been.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm with you.
So this boy is from Frisco, Texas, which is suburbs of, I think, Dallas, like north, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So they are pretty good in football, I guess, up there. So let me play this clip. I think this clip includes enough information for you guys to get context, and then we can talk through it. All right. Make sure I hit the like button, man.
From Hyper Clubhouse in Atlanta for Hype Plus News, I'm John Abba. The story of the physical track meet stabbing is gaining attention from around the country after a 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony was accused of fatally stabbing another student athlete, Austin Metcalf, after a dispute. If you're not familiar with the story, the altercation between Anthony and Metcalf reportedly began after Metcalf told Anthony to move from their team's tent. Now, according to ABC News, witnesses reported that Anthony allegedly reached inside his bag and said, "Touch me and see what happens." That same source also reports that when Metcalf grabbed Anthony to move him, Anthony allegedly pulled out a black knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest. Now, due to the unique dynamics of the story, many have labeled this a racial and political issue, with many supporting Anthony claiming self-defense. Now, the victim's father, Jeff, was one to come out on multiple news platforms that deny the situation stemmed from race and politics. Eddie Griffin would cover the story on a new episode of his series NNN, and he would go on to take the father's side. Additionally, Griffin would end up condemning Anthony for even using a knife instead of fighting.
I want to clarify something right off the start because I've already heard some rumors and gossip. This was not a race thing, and this is not a political thing.
There's reports that, they were bullying the stabber, and that's why he stabbed him. If you get bullied, just knuckle up. Why is it always weapons involved with these little retarded children? You got a gun, you shoot it. You got a knife, you stab a mother. He was just talking to you.
The story appears to have many divided on social media, particularly when it comes to the issue of race, despite the victim's father stating race didn't apply and Griffin agreeing. Tariq Nasheed would add his commentary on social media site X and would immediately bring up how he thinks race applies. He wrote, A suspected white supremacist named Austin Metcalf, pictured with his twin, allegedly demanded honor student Carmelo Anthony give up his seat, like it was the Jim Crow era. Carmelo defended himself from the alleged threat. The Daniel Penny case set this precedent. Taking the opposite approach, conservative commentator Matt Walsh would write, "If I told you that a young man stabbed another young man to death for telling him that he was in the wrong seat, and then I told you that one young man in this altercation was white and the other black, and then I asked you had to guess the race of the assailant, every single person would know the answer immediately. Young black males are violent to a wildly, outrageously disappropriate degree. To a wildly disproportionate degree. That's just a fact. We all know it. And it's time that we speak honestly about it or nothing will ever change." Another social media user, Bishop Talbot Swan, will use 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse as an example that many conservatives rally behind. He would say, "Y'all said 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse was justified in killing 2 people with an AR-15 because he felt threatened. 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony was defending himself when he killed Austin with a knife. And y'all think he deserves to go to prison? I wonder why." So what do you guys think about Eddie Griffin's stance on condemning 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony for stabbing Austin Metcalf instead of fighting at this track meet? Do you think Anthony did this in self-defense? And we have to ask, how much does race play a factor in this story? Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Plus, stay up to date for the latest news and comedy, culture, and sports by subscribing here to our YouTube channel and follow Hype Plus across all social media. And if you enjoyed this story, you can always send us a super thanks by hitting the button below, and you can tip us what you want to show your support. Reporting live from Hyper Clubhouse in Atlanta for Hype Plus News, I'm John Abba.
Good synopsis. So just add a little bit more in terms of the context is, so the black boy Carmelo was sitting under the tent of the other school. The 2 twins, Austin Metcalf being the one who got stabbed to death. He stabbed them once in the chest, first and foremost, right? So he was sitting under the tent. It's raining. It's a track meet. It's a bunch of schools there. He's sitting under the tent. Allegedly, he was invited to sit there. Maybe you know how there'd be like quick downpours, essentially. It could have been something of that nature. Maybe he's just sitting there, right? That's kind of speculation. But allegedly, he was invited or he could sit there. The 2 boys, the 2 twins, the Metcalfs, came over there. They don't actually even run track. They were just at the track meet. From what we saw, the stadium was a part of their high school. So I guess, people just linger after school, go to track meet. He was approached and saying, "Why are you under this tent?" et cetera, et cetera. So I saw a report just lately. It said that he's like, "Touch me and see what happens." That's what Carmelo said. They said the boy touched him. And then he said, "Do it again, see what happens." That's when the Metcalf boy, one of the twins, tried to grab him and like move him out the tent. And that's when he took the knife out his bag and poked him. He poked him once and ran off. He admitted to the police that he did it. He asked if he could claim self-defense, and he asked, "Is he doing okay?" That's what Carmelo asked after he did that. Now, we already walked it down with the knife. So a knife under 5.5 inches, even on the school grounds, you can have it. It's not illegal. And if you notice, his charges are murder 1. It didn't say anything about, possession of a weapon or whatever the case is. But he did get charged with murder 1, which for the most part is premeditated murder in most states, essentially. The burden of proof is rather high for murder 1. Now, what we do see is that they charge you with lesser and included offenses as well. So if you get charged with murder 1, they'll also charge you with murder 2, and they'll also charge you with manslaughter. The notion is if they can't meet the burden of proof on the murder 1, they can at least meet the burden of proof on number 2, and if not, manslaughter. So that's how that works. So you're being charged with lesser and included offenses, just in case they can't meet the burden. So that's where we are with it. Now, there's a racial line here, from what I gathered, is being drawn by the people and not the 2 boys in the incident. When Tariq Nasheed said, what did he say, alleged white supremacist? I haven't seen that anywhere. When you see guns in Texas, it's like seeing a car in Texas. So when you see the boys, if they hunt, a lot of people hunt. So everybody take a picture, they got a new gun, they go hunting, etc. But that's a good coupling if you want to incite something in people with those two pictures. So you got Carmelo in the suit, the two white boys with the guns and they hunting stuff. You know, Matt Walsh, you see the lane he took, right? Black men have this inherent violence because they disproportionately or overrepresent in violent crime. When are we going to talk about it? Matt Walsh is known largely for What's a Woman. That's at least where I heard of him first. And he was asking that question, going around tour, you know, fighting against the transgenders and etc. So you got people with salacious agendas, so to speak, in this world. And so that's where we are with it. So I titled the show today, Race War, because I was looking at a bunch of different TikTok seems to be the place to be with people sharing their sentiments. And it was said that if you don't err on the side of Carmelo being innocent by self-defense, you may be coon adjacent. Here's a couple clips from people's thoughts on TikTok. These are three of the more popular ones.
GoFundMe reported shut down because we as a people don't feel as it's right what they're doing to this young black man right here. Keep advocating, keep doing y'all lives, keep reposting, and keep doing what y'all doing. This baby is gonna come home no matter what, and he's gonna have the best legal team to get him home safely as well. They trying to get this boy under the jail, destroying his reputation and everything, trying to make it seem like he a thug. This child is a 3.7 GPA student, has 21 football scholarships and everything. He had friends and family, all of that. This boy had something to lose. Learn to keep your hands to yourself and you want FAFO, period.
If there's any human being in the United States of America that deserves presumption of innocence right now today, it has to be Carmelo Anthony. Hands down. He was attacked. There were more of them than him. And his witnesses on their side, plus his brother saying that happened. How is that self-defense? All right. And then proportional use of force. It wasn't a multiple Pokemon. It was a singular Pokemon and he ran.
It's two men, 200 or more pounds over you. Two of them come and mess with you and you're trying to defend yourself. What are you going to do? You're going to do what Carmelo did. As of right now, the media is trying to do everything in their power to make him seem like he's an evil person. Y'all did not see this man repeatedly. That's my thoughts on this.
Let me show you very clearly why I think this is a problem and why this is a racial issue. If you don't know what I'm talking about the incident that happened at the track meet. Carmelo Anthony with a K decided that he was going to stab a kid in a conflict under a tent. There's a few things that we need to talk about here. One, I can legally almost represent this case and show you that Carmelo Anthony will be found guilty. It has nothing to do with his skin color as far as I'm concerned, because I do not care. I'm black and I got my family white. So I got black and white sides. I don't give a flying flip. What I care about is justice. What I care about what's right. What I care about is the law. And for them to raise $150,000 for this kid is insane to me. And what it speaks to, in my opinion, is the racism that's involved in this. Because if that young black boy would have killed another black boy at the track meet, we wouldn't hear about it. There would be no GoFundMe. There would be no, oh, we need to stand with him. It's because he killed a white kid. And it's a race war underneath the surface of our country, mostly projected by black people against white folks. So when a black kid do something wrong, black people rally around the kid that did something wrong because they don't want the white boy to be right. They don't want white people to be right. They don't want white people to be on television saying that this black kid is a thug. They don't care that the black kid, I mean, I think that some of them do care.
So Seen that, you heard that. What's you guys' organic take before I ask you a question that's more pointed? What say you, Dr. G?
Well, I think it goes without saying that this is a tragedy, right? And you know, there's not ultimately going to be a winner. I think that I think that the young man probably felt like he was actually defending himself. I do believe that he felt like he was defending himself. He had reason to defend himself. What I think is missing in the situation is situational appropriateness. And I think we miss that all the time. And it lands us in terrible situations. Either we as adults miss it or our kids miss it because we don't teach it to them. We know where we are, right? We know what the legal system does to us. We know about the leveling of justice, lack thereof, and so forth and so on. And so for that reason, we have to be very careful about how we respond in certain situations. His response was not appropriate for the situation. Should he have responded? Absolutely. But the way he responded, in my opinion, lacked situational awareness and appropriateness. And because of that, now the legal system is about to do that. They're about to run him through the mud, right?
So let me give you this. Let me just see what you think as you continue to expound on your thoughts. The boy so I looked at his huddle. Huddle is where they put their film for colleges, right? His huddle says he's 5'10", 160. The police said he's like 5'9", 135. The other boy, the white boys, because it's two twins essentially, even though I think for the most part the only one was engaged, are 6 feet 230. So it's somewhere between a 60 and 100-pound difference. Right. Does that change your understanding about a disproportionate response?
I still believe that it was self-defense on behalf of Anthony's part. Even more so now that that I try to imagine being in that situation, sitting there and being manhandled by this boy, right? You put your hands on me first. I didn't touch you. I warn you not to touch me again. And then you go forward, you proceed, right, with touching me again. The issue that I have is looking at this young man's life and how it's about to be totally destroyed by one decision. One decision. And I think it would have been, it's not worth it to me, ultimately. This kid didn't approach him with a weapon, which is why I'm saying situational appropriateness, right? I think that how he responded wasn't warranted for the situation he was in. Sure, he needed to respond. And I felt like he probably was even scared looking up at this, what they call them, corn-fed, you know what I mean? What they call them in the South. I feel like Anthony probably felt like, yeah, I need to handle this because this boy gonna hurt me. He huge over me, right? But I'm looking long range. I'm looking at tomorrow, and it's probably not. It's probably over for him for that one decision. And so, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think Monday morning quarterback is probably the easiest position to play. Asha, I guess what I wonder is, what do people actually do under duress? Are people able to stop, pause, think, or is the threat imminent to where people respond in a way in which they think is necessary to keep
at
themselves safe?
Mm-hmm. And at that moment, yeah.
What you think, Asha?
I think the threat in the moment makes you make decisions, I guess, more hastily without thinking about it, versus being in a more calm and relaxed situation where you could kind of like think about a situation and think about what the consequences will be. Should I do this or should I not do this? But, like she said, it's unfortunate. I wish, in our society, we can have more of emotional intelligence, because certain things like that, like someone coming up to you, that stuff probably won't even faze me. Like, You want me to get up? All right, I can ignore you. Like, it wouldn't even make me have to even get a weapon because I'm not even listening to what you got to say. I'll get up when I want to get up, type of thing. And then when you touch me, I mean, self-defense, but I don't think my self-defense would have been stabbing someone, stabbing someone, because I would have had that much more of emotional intelligence to know that my consequences, there's always, every action deals with a consequence. So there's going to be a consequence for whatever actions that he performs. So, yeah.
So if I go to grab you and move you out your seat, you're saying you're not gonna defend yourself?
Oh no, I may sneak you,
How?
but I ain't gonna stab you because I feel like that's not first defense. First defense ain't using a weapon. My second defense is if I have two people jumping me, then maybe I might pour something out because now it's 2 against 1. But as far as like one person being bigger than me, there's been fights that I had where people have been bigger than me before, and you gonna get yours. I'm gonna get mine off, but like I don't think first defense would be stabbing somebody. It's just not in me. I'm gonna try to
Okay.
get you with my fists first.
Okay. So you're saying somebody who's 3 inches, 4 inches taller than you, 100 pounds heavier, you're gonna duke it out.
Word, kick them in their neck, kick them in their knees.
Huh?
I said, yeah, kick them in their neck, kick them in their knees, kick them where it hurt.
What in the Bruce Lee is you talking about?
The people that's bigger than me.
Kick them in a neck?
Kick them in their neck. You ain't never see Taekwondo?
It don't work.
Yes, it does.
No,
We done kick boards with our feet.
Oh, that shit don't actually work. That's why the karate guys suck at mixed martial arts.
No.
That shit don't work for real.
Nah, it worked.
Box, wrestle, jujitsu. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So I don't know, man. I just wonder, like, what actually happens in those situations, man. Des, what you think?
Hey y'all. So I'm gonna just go on the center fact that we're going to negate that fact that Black boys and Black men can never be victims. It's sad because Kendrick Johnson was wrapped up in a gym mat from a white boy. There's no way that this young Black man premeditated bringing a knife to school if he wasn't already being aggravated. He gave them a warning shot. Touch me, you see what happens. Warning shot number 2, touch me again, you see what happens. That Caucasian young man felt comfortable enough to put his hands on another young man. Now we're talking about a child. We're not talking about adult women who are emotionally or deluded enough to think that we're emotionally intelligent. We're talking about an emotionally unintelligent young boy. I worked in the school system. I know how ruthless they can be to each other. But again, Black men and Black boys cannot be victims. There is no due process for Black men. Because there's no way that he even, like, think about it. Why would he bring a knife to school if he didn't already have these problems? And then he was invited to attend. They're not even athletes. Like, why are you even over on the athletic side? I don't know if y'all know how track meets are ran in high school, but athletes sit apart from public. That's including students. So they took it upon themselves to walk over to the athletic side and aggravate this young Black man. And again, I'm going to say Kendrick Johnson was found in a gymnasium wrapped up in a gym mat. That's it, Ham.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, see, and that's what I hate what the public do. Sometimes when we get information, we get bits and pieces of the story. We don't get all the leading facts that leads to the actual situation. We get the situation and then the after facts. We don't get step 1. We come in at like step 6. And then we get the conclusion. So that's something that I hate about, listening to the news that's provided to society.
I just wanted to say I agree with what Des has said because the first thing that I thought about, like just listening to everything, was who carries around a knife in high school? Not too many people. So, like Des said, for him to be carrying around the knife, at one point or another, he had to feel threatened. So it's just like, yeah, we could talk about emotional intelligence and being able to regulate, but to be a child and to like, we don't really know if this was like a reoccurring thing with these two. If he was being bullied, to be bullied constantly, like, how much do you take? At one,
So
like,
let me give you this. I saw it as you mind out your thoughts. Well, niggas definitely carry weapons. That's why up north, at least, we have clear book bags or mesh book bags. You know, especially for the younger kids as they grow up and shit like that. So I definitely seen a lot. Like in DC, they have metal detectors in every single high school. So let me give you this information. Carmelo Anthony went to Centennial High School, which is on the kind of like on the other side of town, so to speak. It's a little bit larger school. They went to Frisco Memorial High School, so they don't go to the same high school. Now they all play football, so there could be probably because I think you know the guys who are good, you know. So I think you kind of know who's across town rivals. These teams, just to give you guys context of how good they are, they be on like Friday Night Lights and stuff, like you in Texas. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Saad.
oh, that was just my sentiment. Like I said, I feel like there's not enough information that's being said to know exactly like what's the little nuances. But I just feel like, yeah, people do carry weapons, but to actually use it, I just feel like it had to be something that led up to that point. Like I just don't think it was, oh, get out the seat, whatever, get out the tent or whatever the case was, to make him just pull a knife out. Like I feel like him even running goes to show that he was like scared. Like this, like, yeah, he did it, but I think it was just a repulse, like a reaction to like just multiple situations.
So do you think that it was self-defense?
I want to say it's self-defense, but like I say, I don't know all the nuances to it. So it could be, but on the other side, it could just be, like I said, a reaction to whatever other outside situation that he was dealing with. And now he's brought up with that same situation with these two, with his two peers, that it's just now like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm tired of this shit. So y'all not gonna keep on y'all not gonna keep on bitching me. So I'm about to stand my ground.
So you think it was self-defense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I forget who I be talking to. Yeah.
Callie, what you think?
Yeah, that's self-defense. You're not gonna jump me and somebody ain't gonna get poked. I mean, that's just bottom line. And we already know if one brother fighting, both brothers fighting. That's just what I know to be true. So
Yeah. So they
two bad
said the only one of them had touched him and grabbed him. I guess anticipating if my brother's there, they're 100% gonna fight, right? So I guess that's a safe assumption. But based on what's been said, only one brother touched him. What you think?
Yeah, that don't matter. That don't mean the other brother ain't.
Hmm.
I mean, just because one brother touched him, don't mean the other brother was on the other side of the tent and wasn't involved at all or anything like that. You know what I mean? Didn't the brother give some kind of statement or whatever? Just, uh, solidifying that that's what he said. Like if you touch me and see what's gonna happen, he was able to go ahead and verify that. I mean, he was right there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the brother was there.
you got two brothers. You got me backed off into a corner or something like that. I heard something about it was a downpour or whatever. So no, he ain't gonna want to just leave the fence and go out to the rain just because you know just because this dude say get out from underneath the tent. No, it's raining out there. I'm not gonna get up out of this tent. No.
Okay. Now, is it fear if I say touch me and see what happens? Am I scared?
Yeah, you still scared. That don't just because you say that don't mean you ain't scared.
What I'm saying is, am I projecting fear? I think internally is speculation. I'm saying if I say touch me and see what happens, do I sound or look or would people perceive me as fearful?
No.
So what does that do to the defense, stand your ground or lack thereof?
I feel like you threatening me. Like like somebody tell me to do something like and I already done started a situation like it's like almost like he was baiting them like
Baiting
Well, no,
them.
he didn't do anything to them. They touched
nah,
him first.
you telling me touch me like he touched him once. Then you telling me touch me again like he already did it once. Now you telling him to do it again. It's almost like you baiting me. Like you trying to tell me to do something so that another reaction could come up out of me.
Yeah, but they didn't have to tell them. He didn't have to tell them the first time. They were going to do it regardless. That's what
That's
I
not
said.
what the
Yeah,
that's what
I
the
think
video
that's fight
said.
or flight. Yeah, that's fight or flight. Because if he came as the aggressor, he said something. He told him to get from underneath the tent. He's trying to remove him from the tent. You put that young man in fight or flight. So he's already saying, touch me and see what happens. Because he's
After he
already
was
verbalizing that, after he was touched.
No. So
No,
he
I
said
think it was before.
it was twice. So I saw a video. I'm gonna try to find it, but he said, touch me and see what happens. He touched him. And then he said
Yeah, that's
something
why I
about
said
it again.
2 warning shots. He
That
gave him
one-
2 warning shots.
That's
That's
what
fight
I'm
or flight, him.
but my question was, is it fear?
So fear is enticed by adrenaline, which is fight or flight. So I would say yes. In
So
my personal opinion, yes.
for me, if I say do it, because that's what that is, I'm not afraid at that point.
Mm-hmm. But you're a grown man. We're talking about a child.
As a child.
Well, Hamp, you curled up on a concrete jungle. We're talking about Frisco, suburbia, Texas here.
But but that's not what
He
it is.
invited
This.
Let me go on mute.
Do it is do it, right?
And I get that, but I'm talking about
No,
Frisco,
he
Texas.
didn't say do it. He didn't say do it.
Good morning, sis.
What's up?
He said, touch me and see what happens.
Yeah, cracker. So if you touch me, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right. Yes.
This what niggas be doing. I'm gonna tell you what the setup is. Either you want to bang, or I got the hammer on me. Go ahead, touch me.
Yeah,
or I got the banger on me. That's what that is. That's
but
what that
we're
is.
talking about suburbia, Frisco, Dallas. That sentiments is from your environment, and I understand that wholeheartedly. But we're talking about Frisco, where it's majority Caucasian, and he's probably sprinkled in with a couple of white folks here and there.
So his school, well, let me give you this context. His school, over 70% black, or 70% minority. Centennial High School.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the other schools, because I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was in school and playing basketball, we knew what the predominantly white schools were, and you don't go to the bathroom by yourself. You don't talk to the audience. The audience is reckless. The audience will talk to these kids like they playing NFL, NBA games. So I understand from a child's point of view. And them being, because he wasn't at his home track meet, right? It was a track meet. Someone else hosted it. Some other school hosted that track meet. So if they came over to the athletic part, I will 100% bet that they were at Memorial, because those kids were comfortable, and those adults who are teachers allowed them to go over to them stands. Because in track meets, if you're an athlete, you stay on one side of the track and the public stays on the other. So how did they get over there in general is unbeknownst to me.
Well,
they're both students, right? They're both participating in a track meet.
The kids weren't.
But if
the
I'm
white
in a
kids
track
weren't
meet
running track meet.
in high school, if I'm in a track meet, I can go where I want. Like, you can walk around the track. Ain't nobody policing that. It's too much to do. So here's what you saw. So he goes to Centennial, the boy who did the stabbing. They were at Frisco Memorial, at Kukendall Stadium that was called Memorial Stadium. But then when you look at the picture, there's another school's tent up there that says Jones High School or something. So what you're looking at is a regional track meet. So you have several schools there. What do they call those things? Not jamboree, but like when a bunch of schools are at one, and it's not a 1-on-1, 1v1 track meet. It's called something, right? So it's more schools there, you see. But his experience, it'd be trying to what you're projecting your experience, right? Which I understand that happens. But what I'm trying to frame for you is Centennial High School, the one that he goes to, is 70% minority. Invitational, yeah. It's 70% minority. You see what I'm saying? And his school's bigger too than the one they were at. So he's going to school with blacks and Latinos and Asians, I guess, if it's the minorities, because the town is 50% white, 30% Asian, 10% black, 10% Latino, and then mixed.
Which
So
I understand here. Yeah, which I understand. I'm just saying, so was the two Caucasian boys, was that their school that they were hosting that track meet at, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They had free reign to roam because the teachers knew them, right? So they shouldn't even have been there if they were being monitored appropriately. But because they have free reign to go wherever they want to, I understand kids roam track meets. You're talking about somebody who's been to track meets. I'm an athletic trainer for track meets. It's unconventional and it's not appropriate to let the public students roam to the athlete side. So they went over there looking for smoke, is what I'm telling you. They were the aggressors because they weren't supposed in the state in Texas, and I've worked a lot of Texas track meets. The athlete side is you actually have to have like a badge or something, especially if you're at a UIL track meet. Them kids being able to just free roam where the athletes are, it's because they were comfortable and the teachers allowed them to do that, because there's always PD at track meets.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Me either. And I ran track for a living. We always had spectators on our side, and we had spectators and both the athletes on one side.
Yeah.
In Texas?
Nah, in Jersey.
That's what I'm saying. It's different. It's a different ball game in Texas.
No, that can't be the pigeonhole. That's not because track is probably the most free in terms of people moving around, because you got to wait for your events and the shit take all day. At a real sport like a football game, you know the visitors, you know the home team, right? It's structured, it's fun, it's exciting. That boring track shit take all day, and you run for niggas run for 15 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever the case is. Like, come on, that's a tough pigeonhole to say Texas exclusive. You gotta have a badge on your neck.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Where the boy that did the stabbing lives, like you said, it's a suburban town outside of Dallas. It's like it's about 30 minutes from actual Dallas. And a lot of the surrounding cities and the schools, I mean, they're in and out doing different stuff. The boy parents just got him a car. He's in a predominantly people of color school. So him having a weapon, living in even the suburb of Dallas, because they move around, especially with him being an athlete, he's going different places like he was. And he probably had that for protection, because I think the boy got a Lexus or something like that. He ain't no, you know what I'm saying? He probably just
got a Mercedes for his birthday or something.
Oh, okay, my bad. Maybe I'm biased. But so he, to an extent, I don't think that he had that for per se like those boys at the track meet. I think he had that period because him moving around and being in the area that he's in. Secondly, with the track meet, I'm in Texas too, and Texas breeds football players. If that's your high school and you're at the track meet, they like
all the especially the popular football players at those type of events moving around, and they let them move around freely. A lot of that happens. So nobody was probably thinking like, oh, they're going over there to start some mess. This is their school. They're popular athletes. They're going to let them go over there and do whatever, not whatever, but to that extent. So I don't think it was a racial thing. I don't think the boy was. I don't think he was scared like in a mode as far as like, oh my goodness, these guys are gonna, like he Urkel or something. He was planning to defend himself, even if he was at the track meet or if he stopped at the corner store and somebody tried to get him at the corner store. He was prepared to defend himself regardless of how it went. So on that part, as far as fear, I don't think he was scared, but I think he had the conscience to know I have to defend myself regardless of if I'm at a track meet or somewhere else because of his environment and because of where he's at. If you're at a track meet, especially like if it's raining and some guy that's got 100 pounds on me come up on me like that, it's raining, if I slip, especially like if you grab me and like I'm off balance and I'm in these stands on these bleachers and it's raining, that right there is a cause for a whole another accident. I slip, I fall. Don't say how we tussling if he pushing him towards the edge of where the bleachers are and he can fall over. I mean, there's a lot of stuff up there that could happen in that situation. And I think he was just trying to make sure that he was okay. I don't think he was scared, especially with the part.
So you think it was self-defense?
Yeah, on the fact because it has to be because I think weight wise, if weight, height, I don't think me just tussling with you was going to work or keep you off of me. Because a lot of times it's about sometimes just getting the person off of you. And I don't think that boy would have just without anything, even if he would have picked up a rock, I don't think without anything he would have been able to defend himself properly.
So you're saying because of the size advantage, his response was warranted.
In that moment, yes, I think it was.
Okay.
It's kind of confusing though, because like I know in the state of Georgia we allowed to carry, probably could carry in Texas too, but you always got to have like a safety before your safety is your safety weapon. Your safety pin is your self-defense one, and then if they like somebody come into your house, you could pop them once, and then that's your safety, and then the second one will be okay. You in my house now? I gotta get busy. So what was his safety defense? His safety defense was baiting. Was the bait? Or like
I don't think that was bait. He gave him two. He told him don't touch me.
I don't think it was.
Asha, straight up, if I come over to you and be like, move, Asha, and you be like, if you touch me, it's popping, and I say, move, Asha, I'm supposed to get up and move you. That is 2 warning shots. You gave me 2 warning shots. You said, see what happens if you touch me. It's clear. It's plain English. I don't think that was a bait. I'm telling you. You're telling me if I try you, it's up. That's a warning. That's a verbal warning. Twice.
And some people could look at it as like a threat. Now you threatening me at this point.
The question is, Aja,
Well,
do you think the majority or minority of people look at it as a threat?
Minority,
yeah.
Look at it as a threat?
The minority would look at it, yeah. Would look at it as a threat.
What he says, if you touch me and see what happens, the minority of people see that as a threat.
Oh,
would the majority of people take that as a threat or not?
No, majority would take it as self-defense.
No. You say move or I'm gonna move you to me.
That's a threat.
Say it to me.
Move or I'm gonna move you.
Touch me and see what happens.
I'm gonna touch you.
Do you take that as a challenge?
Yeah.
A threat? What do you take it as?
I take it as a challenge.
Do you think most people would take it as a challenge?
Yes.
Does anybody disagree?
So was the first challenge not saying to move?
Who incited it?
Yeah.
The
Because
white boy incited it.
yeah, so if somebody tell me to move, nigga, you gonna have to move me. Like, so that's why he said touch me and see what happened. Because what?
Okay, so now, sis, in most of the northern states, we don't have stand your ground. So if we have that same interaction, sis say, move or I'm gonna move you, and I say, touch me, see what happens, and we get the scuffle and I poke her, I'm going to jail for murder most likely, right? But now in the southern states, you have stand your ground in Louisiana, Florida, Texas. I don't know. I just know those 3 states have it to where you don't have to flee. In the other states, you have to try to evade before you defend yourself. So if there's an opportunity for you to get away and you don't, most likely your ass is going down for whatever the crime is. But in the southern states, you have this stand your ground nuance that you have the right to defend yourself and you don't have to flee. So, sis, when you hear the story, what's your take? You're on mute.
You know what? I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at the black boy at all. I think a lot more black men need to learn something from that. It's
Like what?
okay to be violent if you need to be towards white men. You know, a lot of times they're so quick to be violent towards each other that when it's time to be violent towards a white man who's actually doing something to you, you know, whether it be physical or with microaggressions or with pure aggression, you guys, not you guys, but majority of black men will back off, won't even approach, take the back seat, shut the fuck up. And it's like, yo, you don't see that? You call it, you know, like, what's up? You know, but another black man, y'all will shoot or stab fairly quickly. So I'm proud of him. Learn a lesson.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so you saying black men majority are shook of white men.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But to another black man, we quick to pop it off.
Quick to pull a trigger, quick to stab, quick to square up. Yeah, quick.
So you saying he did what most black men ain't willing to do in real life.
Absolutely. He didn't see none of that. He like, touch me again. Watch. You know? And then the way to stab somebody that hard, it tells me, and the evidence may show later on that I think about it, that he was probably leaning forward into him. To get into his chest that far, that deep, to kill him, I'm sure the white boy probably actually helped with his own death. Because he was probably going after him.
In his face. That's a good point.
Equal and opposite force, right? Like the inertia, him coming forward and him going forward.
And let's not act like the first touch was him just touching him on the shoulder. Can you please leave? He probably pushed him.
Yeah, I had that happen.
Yeah.
Might just like
or handled them. Yeah.
tap you, like, don't touch you. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know what I mean? Like on the shoulder or something. You know what I mean? Now, so you like Callie? You like sis take?
I don't know.
What?
My real life says that's not true. My internet life says it's true.
Do you know more people in real life or on the internet?
I hear more opinions on the internet.
So if that's the bulk, so you agree with sis?
Yeah, take a conversation. Yeah, I would say I agree with this. I hear too many people talking about they're gonna back down and you don't have to do that and just let them have it and all that kind of. Nah, fuck that. I let his ass have it.
Damn, what y'all think? Anybody? What y'all think about what sis said? Jesus.
I agree with sis because at the end of the day, you don't know what chemicals are going on in this young man's body. Like you're talking about the automatic system that happens in your body. Like, let's not negate humanity here. He's still a functioning ecosystem with hormones. And he's a teenager at that. And you know what? I have a son. And I've been racially discriminated against. Me and my sister been called niggas and some more shit. So I know what it's like to feel inadequate to a white person. And I have a son. I wouldn't want him to be bitched around. Of course, I would want him to come to me and say, hey, I'm being bullied or whatever the case may be, but he's still a man out in the real world trying to figure it out. But to see adults champion for this little boy, because he is a little boy, to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law without even waiting until all the facts come out is freaking insane. That's somebody's son. That could have been Marcus. Or anybody else who has a son. Since I saw you had a baby boy in your picture. That is our son right there.
So,
and he was bullied.
So let's add to retort. Why your son first thing is to go for the banger? Why he not willing to scrap?
I don't think
that was a big football player.
Yeah, I don't think
he's running track. He
played football. He played football.
What was the big boy there for? He was throwing
he
the
played
distance.
football, sis. He played football.
But you also pointed out the height and the weight difference.
What was he there? No. I'm saying he was an athlete. They're saying, and that might be a cover up too, because he might just have been there spectating, but they might have allowed him to come under the tent, under the bleacher. So I don't know what event he would be doing at that size, unless he was throwing a discus shot, whatever.
Who, the big boy?
I need more details as well.
Sorry, who are you saying the athlete?
The white boy.
You talking about the white boys?
Well, he played football.
Right.
But did he run track? Did he throw the discus?
He could, but
no, I don't think he ran track.
He could, but they're being kind of vague. I think there's more to it.
Yeah, I mean, one-on-one is fine, but two of them, nah, you do what you gotta do to get up out of there.
So stabbing is necessary.
But it wasn't two of them. The other twin wasn't there at the time. It was just.
Well, he was there. He wasn't paying attention. They said.
Well, I'm saying he wasn't close in proximity to where
he was close. He was turned around though.
He wasn't involved.
So this is Carmelo here. The boy that did the stabbing. This is Carmelo. This is Huddle.
It said the other one played too, didn't he?
Yeah. So this Carmelo here. He played pretty good. He's not the biggest dude, that's for sure.
What's his position?
Safety.
Oh, he could be small.
He's skinny.
I was about to say, he looked like safety is about
But I mean, he's still out there with his body tackling, hitting, getting hit. I think he should have threw them hands. I do. I mean, listen, if you getting your ass kicked and then you pull a knife, that's different than just pulling a knife.
Well, he ran track, so
if you getting your ass kicked, you already lost.
It's not like throwing hands.
Have you
ever?
ever?
We in 2025. This ain't the Friday movie. These babies don't know nothing about squabbing.
I know, and that's what I was talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's a problem. That's a problem.
What was the twins' name? What was the twins' name again?
Metcalf.
What's his first name?
Austin.
Austin, yeah.
Bully. His first name is Bully.
I'm just saying, if you already getting your ass kicked, you ain't got time to pull no knife.
Yes, you do.
But have you ever had an angry Caucasian man get mad and start yelling and get red? Have you ever seen that in real life?
I have. I
Yeah.
have. That shit
Is
is
that what
fearful.
happened?
That shit is scary.
Crazy.
That
I
shit is
have
scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
very much so. It
I've
I
seen
don't think
kids in
it
the
was a one
schoolhouse.
situation.
No, that's what I'm saying. And let's not negate
This
that
little
these
boy's
kids
life.
have easy access. Let's not negate that these kids have easy access to each other and can talk shit to each other over the internet. This not like back in 2000s and 1990s where you just had to meet up at the school. These kids have direct access to each other via internet. It's kids that squab at basketball games, grown ass people, grown ass adults from opposite teams squabbing in bathrooms in Texas. Montgomery ISD to be exact, and that's a very racist town.
Yeah.
How does that relate?
That's my son. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just trying to connect what you're saying to this situation.
Because
saying that they had some premeditated issues is what we're saying. What me and Saad are saying is that they could have very much had words on the internet or in DMs or your homeboy saying that you're gonna be at the track meet. Oh, so you're gonna be at the track meet? I'm supposed to pull up on you. I
got
know
you.
grown adults
I hope that's the
in the
case.
bathroom with their kids.
I hope that's the case for this little boy's sake. I really do. I hope that there's some history.
So that's the thing. So one, this boy balling his ass off in these highlights. Not to say that much. He doing a hell of a job playing linebacker. So, well, what they did say when they got the boy after he stabbed him, he said, "Will I be able to claim self-defense?" He said, "How is he okay?" He didn't say anything to a cops about they know each other. He been bullying them. So it's from what I gathered based on the due diligence, it's an incident, not an issue. So it doesn't seem like, based on what was said, it's an ongoing thing. They didn't go to the same school or anything.
Yeah. I want to know if they follow each other. I want to know if they follow each other on platforms. That's what I want to know.
But it don't matter if they did, because we're speaking to this incident. That's why it's important.
But it could point to something that was ongoing, is what she's saying, though.
No, I understand that, but in this moment, at this time, we don't have none of that. So we don't
that
need
wouldn't
to
necessarily
stuff around. Right in this moment, they're at the track meet. He stabbed this boy. He might have felt scared. He might not have. And even in the fact that he even asked if the boy was okay. So I mean, if we've been tripping, I ain't gonna ask if that person okay.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Go ahead, sorry.
There you go. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, actively as I'm researching this stuff, he saved a white kid from drowning before. Carmelo Anthony did. So now what?
So it's
why
not
would
race.
It's not racist from Carmelo Anthony. My bringing that point is that he doesn't have a discrimination against white kids, right? If he's willing to save a white boy's life from drowning, right? What is the catalyst and what is the differentiation for this other kid? They had to have known each other before. They had to have had words before. The boy was too comfortable getting up to antagonize him, is what I'm saying. He was too comfortable.
They both football players, and I'm sure that they played each other in where that area is, that they played each other. If you say that you're in the schools, you know, especially in Texas, in the district, all the people that's going after all the schools and all that stuff, they know each other. They talk about each other on that level. It could have been something like that, but it doesn't mean we're not going to go into the race part, because I'm throwing the race out where they're at. And him, and even what you talking about him saving another white child, we know it's not a racist thing. So it's simply as we're in a situation, he responded. He responded the way that he felt like he needed to respond.
Have you ever got bullied before?
So you're saying you don't know if he. So you're saying that you don't think that he knew this kid before that incident. Is that what you're saying to me?
That's not what I said. I said that they're both football players. That's what I did state. So they know each other on that, because we know how Texas is when it comes to football. They know each other. They probably done played each other a couple of times.
Y'all not making. So what y'all doing though? If this be true, you making a case for murder one.
And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's just
Well, but listen to what I said. You guys are making the case for murder one.
Well, Hamp, I'm saying it's self-defense is what I'm saying.
It's unfortunate.
No, you can't be saying that if you're saying they follow it, they got history, etc. So you're quite literally saying because he was going to that school for the track meet, he brought the banger just in case he saw this white boy.
Nah.
Or he brought it.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Stop. Don't respond so quickly. I'm listening to what's being said. You see? So if they already have a relationship, right? That means that he literally brought the knife just in case he saw Austin Metcalf. And now he waiting for him to say something. So you know what absolutely is not fear? Touch me again and see what happened. Touch me again is literally, I've been looking for you, nigga. I want you to do something because this is what we think in our heads. Self-defense is as long as I hit you back, I defended myself.
Mm-hmm.
We've been taught that dumb shit. Don't wait. Slow down. So that's what is actually happening. So I want y'all to understand, be careful what you're saying because you actually putting a jacket on them of premeditated murder. Go ahead.
And is that because he's black? Because Kyle Rittenhouse carried an AR-15. So is that because he's black? We're putting a jacket on him? Because if he was white, would we be having the same jacket?
I don't know why. I don't know why you're putting the jacket on him, Des. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think it's fair to say that he could have felt threatened and carried around a deadly weapon the same way Kyle Rittenhouse felt threatened and carried around an AR-15.
Except for you said that they have to have past history. These two specifically, and now he comes to the field with the banger on him just in case he see Metcalf. Kyle Rittenhouse shot two random people that tried to take his gun from him. He did go to the protest, right? But what happened was they tried to take his weapon from him. He fell, shot both of them motherfuckers. Two white dudes at that. But the circumstances are different. That's all I'm saying.
I don't even know why.
Well, you go to a protest, you know that things can get trippy real quick. We've seen plenty of history protests where things done went real south real quick. So to bring an AR-15, you're going into war. So that means both of them were going into war, regardless of how you look at it. It's just one boy was black and the other one was white.
Wait.
So we're gonna let him.
No.
Then we should let
Carmelo Rittenhouse was actually accosted though too. He was actually accosted.
So here's the thing, right? Now here's where people run into trouble. They have a preset position, and now, Des, don't talk to nobody else right now, just for a second, so you can understand what I'm saying, right? You came with an argument already in your head, and you're gonna present it no matter what. Here's what is simply being laid out. You're saying that if they had a relationship, Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony specifically, he went to that track meet knowing he was going to Austin Metcalf's school and brought the knife just in case he saw him because they had a past history. That's what premeditated murder starts with, because he already had a conceived notion that this could possibly happen. Kyle Rittenhouse did bring the gun to the protest. Right? In those states, you can open carry rifles. You can have a rifle at 17. They grabbed Kyle Rittenhouse, tried to take his gun. He got his gun away, fell, and shot both of them. So I just want us to understand what we're saying. I'm not saying you're doing it purposely, but I just wanted you to hear the two things you're laying out and how it could paint a narrative that you don't want. Go ahead.
I initially said that I hope that there was some past history to sort of indicate bullying of some sort, right? That this white guy and maybe even his brother had some previous situation with Anthony, right? Of a bullying nature, of a bullying sort, because in my mind, then that would be him defending himself. That would go to him defending himself. But what you're saying, Hemp, is that goes to the murder one because it makes it premeditated.
And then think about this. To Aja's point, look at the provocation. Because guess whose tent he was sitting under?
The other school.
Think about that.
I'm waiting for y'all to come to y'all area. I'm here.
But I'm being bullied. You see how that don't line up. So I'm being bullied. These guys are being mean to me. I'm gonna go sit under their tent after having past history with the banger on me. Come on, you putting a murder one jacket on the boy. That's the part that I want us to hear. You know,
the other thing I will say that typically at track meets, the athletes are separate from the regular spectators. They have tents typically on the track, and unless you're competing, you can't be on the track. But I could also see how if you're at my school, I'm an athlete. I don't run track. You're at my school. You know, this event is at my school. I'm the home school. It's at my school. I don't run track, but I am an athlete. So I might get access to spaces and places where I probably shouldn't be. But she's right about that, just in terms of how it's set up.
See, I was an athlete. Yeah, I was an athlete too. And then half of the time when I was at a track meet, I didn't even have time to interact with other people because I was thinking about the next event that was at hand. And then also my team came with a tent. So that's why I'm really not understanding why was he under somebody else's tent where typically a school bring their own tent. And if they know inclement weather is going to be present, they're going to bring something so that the kids can be under. So what kind of prompted him to go under someone else's tent? That will be my question.
From what I heard,
he was invited. He was invited.
Or was he
so his
invited?
School didn't have a tent?
I heard it was a downpour.
He might have
and
been
that was
coming from the concession stand. It might have been a downpour. There could be many reasons why he would jump under another tent briefly.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But again, that's what I'm saying. The two white boys were not athletes at that event, and they were on the athlete side. They were the trespassers. It's what I'm saying. Regardless if there was a school or not, you're not in an event. You shouldn't be with the athletes. And that's everybody. That's everywhere in Texas. The athletes are separate from public bystanders, no matter whether or not you are an athlete for that school or not. And coaches know whether or not you run track or not. They were bypassed that way. They were allowed to be over there because someone said, oh, well, they thought it was innocent. So if anybody's to blame, it's the adults. The adults who are neglectful and following standard procedures at a track meet. They shouldn't even been able to freaking be with each other at all. And from what Hamp said early on, the boy was invited so that he didn't get rained on into that tent. He didn't just go to just sit there and be like, oh, well, when I see that nigga, it's up.
I guess. But let's just deal in a little bit of the reality. Did you see how good that boy was playing on that film? He do what the fuck he want to do at that school. I was one time I went 30 minutes late to class and my teacher asked me, was everything okay? He even asked me why I was late. Mr. Fraulino didn't give a fuck long as he could film the games on Saturday.
That's what I said earlier. They let them, especially the football players.
You had Mr. Fraulino, sis?
No, I'm just smiling. I thought about Bransfield when you said that.
Oh yeah, Mr. Bransfield, little gay ass lady. No, come on, man. Gay Bransfield, let me do what I want to do. Yeah,
he died
though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. God bless his dead. Man.
Yeah, the top athletes get full reign of the school, and that all kind of events they everywhere. That's a fact.
That's a fact. That's what I'm saying. So it was
but that doesn't make it right though. That doesn't make it right.
That's
even
life.
Though I'm just saying so here's an instance where clearly what should be happening, there's a reason why. We keep them separate. Here's a reason why.
What's the reason?
Because we don't want them intermingling and fighting and having issues.
It could have
happened. We don't want them coming to blows. We don't want them coming to blows because they're intermingling.
It could have happened regardless. It could have happened regardless.
I mean, I know, but
let me read these.
All right.
What up?
What up, buzzin', bird flip a dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
My brother Quan in the building became a member about time. Mason was popping. Black people will call it self-defense, but say nothing of the sort if another black man was stabbed. This discourse is only being had due to the sick fixation of the erasure of the bourgeoisie class of white America.
Well, that's not true, but okay.
Salute to Mason for the first 20 ball of the day. Didn't fit. Popping kick. Good to see you last week, man. With the 50 ball says, this pisses me off. The only time black boys or men are ever seen as victims is when they are acting as less than a man. We have to be lowly in demeanor or feminine to be seen. Exactly. That's self. Jay Facts with the Rittenhouse took a rifle to a protest. He ain't a cop. His community surrounded and supported him. There is no community with us. That boy will be made an example of, and blacks will share the blame on his. That's the part we ain't even get to that I want to get to for sure. Jay Facts with the $10. It's a criminal to teach a man how to defend himself when he is the constant victim of brutal attacks. Malcolm X. Mason with the $2 says he should have just thrown hands. Mike Brown with the $5 says when confronted by a bear, they will say, make yourself big and loud. Why? Definitely doesn't lack fear, quote unquote. Dre with the $5 says Texas Stand Your Ground law allows you to use deadly force and stay in place based on a perceived threat to your life. It's unfortunate but lawful in my opinion. Aaron with the $2 says we need the lead attorney or someone close to this. Aaron with the $2 said not really. Shit is on his face. And that's the thing, right? Like if you go to court in law and shit, bro, it be just a lot of the filings that we get scared of and don't understand. Mm-hmm. A lot of this shit is statute based with the exception of like these criminal cases. Aaron with the $2 says sis is like HAMP dark side in his mind. Aaron with the $2 says told y'all black women want us black men to whoop some white people ass. Luo was popping with the $10. Luo, you've been carrying them waters for 2 years, my nigga. Touch me and see what happens, quote unquote. Does not meet the criteria for deadly force because you have to articulate a fear for your life. He's cooked in the eyes of the law. Luo with the $2 says he listed as on the roster as 5'11", 162. Yeah, that's what I. So Luo, I think you know the height is probably I think exaggerated, and the cops said 130, which does sound crazy. Like 130 is really really small. I think in that video you could give him 160. You know what I'm saying? Aaron with the $2 says, I feel a young girl was involved, a snow bunny. They said he was invited, allegedly. Jay Miller with the $10 says, fathers, please don't leave these women to raise your sons without you. This conversation shows why young niggas raised by single mothers are quick to shoot instead of fight. Jonathan with the $5 says, if I'm getting bullied, I'm always looking for where they are to keep my distance. Aaron with the $2 says, find the snow buddy, solve their case.
Oh God.
What up, buzzin', bird flip a dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Salute to my brother Dre in the building who gifted one membership. Whoever got blessed with it, welcome to the family and please maintain it. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing.
This is what we want to do. This is what we want to do. Make sure we create a diverse and exciting dialogue. Condense our points down. Condense it down. Go ahead.
I just wanted to throw out on the single mother thing. He came from a 2-parent household. Like, so that means nothing in this case. That means nothing at all. So
Yeah, Dr. G, stay out of the chat.
I'll just say this: it don't matter if they were black and white or whatever, black or white. Just because, like, okay, so basically, what people are saying is that I'm gonna just apply it to like my real life situation, right? I was about to get jumped or whatever like that. I had a knife on me because I knew I was, people was talking and everything like that. So y'all saying that if I were to go ahead and tell them, hey, if you jump me, somebody getting cut, that I was wrong for that, even though I knew what time it was or whatever, I can see what time it is.
Well, you know why, right?
I'm not fearful.
I want to
You know what I'm
introduce
saying?
this. You got a vagina.
So what? They have vaginas too.
But that's the thing. From what I heard earlier, a woman to use the banger is justified as opposed to because he's a boy.
Yeah, against one of the opposite sex, but I'm talking about two females.
Okay.
So in essence, people are saying that I was wrong or whatever like that, and I wasn't fearful because I told them if y'all jump me, somebody getting cut.
Yeah, you going to jail.
Yeah, I was about to say, Kelly, you're definitely going to jail.
Yeah, that's threatening me. They threatening me. What you mean?
I think it's just because I think it's the verbiage that you're using that says like I got a knife instead of like jump me and see what happened. I don't know.
I think it's weird to warn somebody to warn at all. Like, you know what I'm saying?
no,
because I didn't want to fight.
I'm gonna have to do it. So I'm trying to give you the out. Like, yo,
Well, then you can just walk away. Well, then if you don't want to do it, then leave.
Why
Ain't no
don't you
walking
leave,
away.
Dr. G? Let me say.
Okay, in this situation, Lex, let's say I'm the white dude. I want the smoke. But you're saying the guy, the Anthony, he had a weapon, but he didn't want to, he didn't want the smoke. Or did he? I don't know yet. But if I want the smoke, I ain't gonna leave. If I don't want it, I'm gonna leave the situation. I'm not gonna warn you that if you put your hands on me, I got murder for you. I'm not gonna do that.
I honestly think like he was just fed up. Like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm warning you. You keep on fucking with me. This is what's about to happen. Because we ain't about to keep on rapping about this.
Why do y'all keep us
Ain't no walking away. Ain't no walking away. I walk away. I turn my back, and they sit over here and they bop me over the head. No, ain't no walking away. I ain't turning my back on nobody.
Yeah,
That actually happened to me, and I'm
this
like,
is not.
I walked
That's
away, and
not
a bitch hit me in the back of my
Hold on.
head,
Go
and
ahead,
I
sis.
turned around and beat the fuck out of her ass.
Oh my god. Go ahead,
That's
sis.
not how it goes. Like, I don't necessarily did Carmelo say that he said, "Touch me again, see what happened."
Yes.
The brother did.
Those words
Yeah,
came
the
from
brother
him.
confirmed.
The brother the brother that the white boy ran to.
No,
That wasn't there.
No, he was there. The twin brother was there.
Oh, he was there right next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said
And
a
he
brother
confirmed.
turned around.
I thought he ran. Oh! Anthony ran. He ran.
Yeah. He hit him with a banger and then he ran.
I'm not
So
sure
I
that
think it's
all
Russian
that was
roulette.
done. There had to be more to it. I don't believe that that's all the white boy did, just reach to touch him. He had to be talking junk, trying to embarrass him, trying to move him out the way. He probably did more than that.
So he touched him the first time, sis, and he said, "Do it again, see what happens." And then that's when he grabbed him.
Yeah.
That's enough said.
I'm just picturing a little bit more. A little
I
bit more.
think-
I just know.
More kids around.
So was the knife like I'm just confused because if they're running track, was the knife like where was the knife at?
They said he grabbed his bag when the altercation was about to pop off.
I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah,
I just know it's a 50-50 chance. Hemp, all I know. I'm just saying it's a 50-50 chance. If that young black man walked away and just like, okay, I ain't gonna fight you, bro. I don't want no smoke. There's a 50% chance, and this is projection because I went through it. When I was in the 8th grade, this girl had smoke for me. And she like, talking hot cash money shit. I walked away. She ran after me and hit me in the back of my head. And I turned around and beat the brakes off that bitch. So what would have happened if he walked away and then he was like, oh, you pussy. You a pussy. Oh, I knew that nigga was scared. What he call him a nigga? Oh, you a scary ass nigga. Then what? Now what? Now you're as a man. Now you're what? It's a 50-50 shit chance. So
You're
essentially
not
it's a
talking
double-edged
about,
blade.
but you're not talking about you're not talking about legality. You're talking about pride.
And we're not talking about a man.
He's
We're
a
talking
young
about a
man.
boy.
But we're not making
Exactly.
up situations. Talk about what actually happens. So what if
Y'all are speculating. You're assuming that there's no smoke. You're assuming that this white boy did nothing to him. He just stabbed him in the chest just to stab because he's just irate.
Well,
Come on, now you're assuming too,
down.
Alexis.
But Lex, if he's telling, think about this. If he's saying leave the tent, and Carmelo gets up and leaves the tent, you're saying that what would have happened if he would have been teased?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if he got up and he left the tent, he's like, you know what, I ain't supposed to deal with this bullshit today. And then him and his brother would start antagonizing him. Now what? Now we're talking about a young.
He would have been what would have happened is he would have been teased and not a potential killer.
Yeah, because he got a lot on the line. Like, if you got a lot on the line and you got like it's something bigger than that. They got NIL deals and everything right now. So like Ham said, like his pride would have been crushed for a minute, but like he'll end up being on to the next one. And he wouldn't be behind bars right now.
Yeah, and Des, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not getting up and leaving.
Yeah,
exactly, because you're a man and men are egotistical. So you're talking about a young boy who's not even yet been in life and real life and experienced stuff, and he made a poor choice. Yes, I will not negate that he made a poor choice, but at the end of the day, he was antagonized. We're not going to sit up here and act like he just woke up one day and said, you know what, I'm gonna put this knife in my bag, I'm gonna carry it around with me, and then you know what, I'm gonna kill that white boy.
Oh, that's exactly
He didn't do that.
Well, he woke up saying,
He
I'm
didn't
gonna bring
wake
this
up on it. Okay, but why? There's always an equal or what is it? What's the physics? There's always an equal or opposite reaction to something. Let's not negate humanity. And I have a son, and that's why I'm even emotionally passionate about this because I've been racially discriminated, me and my sisters. Hell, on this show, I've been racially discriminated. Let's just keep it a fucking buck. And I still have to be fucking poised. I still have to be poised in front of Risky Weekend and everything. What if I went to Risky Weekend and was like, you know what, Lexus? Know what, name? Know what song? It's fucking up. Because y'all were talking shit on a fucking show.
What?
Be fucking for real.
What would you do that for? Why
So
you even
back
say that?
to
Why would you even
Carmelo
say
and
that?
Austin.
We're talking about these two boys.
Right.
You know?
Can we get back to that? No, what if he would have walked away, would have happened? What happened was what happened.
So just to clarify, Saw, before you jump in, he spoke to the police, right? In the police report, he made no assertions of anything racial. He said the things that he said. Go ahead, Saw.
I mean, I don't forgot what I was about to say, but I'm gonna say what you just said. Being that he said what he said, like the only thing that really sparks like wheels in my head is when he asked, would this be labeled as self-defense? That's the only red flag that I have with the whole situation, because that is a tricky question, because it's like, what was your intention?
Yeah, intent matters. Intent matters. So let me ask y'all a question. It's going to be a tough question based on what you know. It's a one-word answer. Or, sorry, either a two-word or a one-word answer. Self-defense, murder. based on all that you heard, all of the facts, not how you feel. Understanding to the best of your knowledge how the law works. Sis? Sis?
Self-defense. I think he came in to grab him, and he just got him first.
Dr. G?
I still think it's self-defense.
Callie Beverly?
Self-defense.
Asha?
Murder.
Alexis from Texas? It's a broadcast.
I know. Saying it.
It's a broadcast.
Self-defense. Hopefully, we got a good ass lawyer. Okay.
Said we. I caught the we part. Des?
Self-defense.
Saw it.
So I'm about to go ahead and let you know this right now, Hemp. I don't do good with one or the other. So my answer is partial self-defense.
Now, question. Is Asha Coonan adjacent?
No.
I need more information.
No.
No.
No, I just think I just think she's looking at the fact that he killed somebody, so it's murder.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Saad. Now that you're a grown up and you make decisions for other people on a daily basis, you can stand on something. There's
Well,
no such thing as partial self-defense. If it's partial self-defense, that means it's partial murder, and I can guarantee they're gonna book you.
but even when you go to a trial and the jury is X, some of them are undecided. It be hung juries and all. So to do what you want me to do is self-defense. But it's still partial in my behalf, just off of the stipulation of what he said when he asked, was this self-defense? So yeah.
Okay. Is Asha is she partially cooning, man? What y'all think?
I don't think she partially cooked it at all. I was almost ready to be on her side. That's why I gave the caveat. Hopefully we have a good ass lawyer, because I mean, that's why I was trying to throw it out there.
Only when she said it was bait. That's the one thing I didn't care for at all. Bait. Like, why? You know? He's sitting there chilling, ducking the rain, and here come this show off.
Sis,
You know?
she said, bait, touch me and see what happens. To
Right.
let me ask you a question. 2 16, 17-year-old football playing boys. Is that a challenge?
It can be looked at like that.
Let me ask you a question, sis. Is that a challenge?
Yes.
That's why she said bait.
But why look at it like that? This boy.
Do you think that's how boys look at it? That's the question.
Oh yeah, I just answered that. Huh?
Now, mind you, sis, he was also voted team captain, best player. So that's his life. The boy who got stabbed up. The one who got stabbed up.
Who got stabbed up?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
His mom said he a leader. He speak out. All that.
That's why I believe he was doing too much. He was showing out, and look what happened. He wrote a check your ass couldn't cash. He was ready. That boy was ready for anything. He just put it in his bag thinking, okay, I just need this. I'm walking around, don't got a ride, probably. I gotta use public transport, whatever. He like just in there. But he was ready. He was ready to use it.
He got a Benz for his birthday.
Yeah, he got a car. These are affluent kids.
Yeah,
Anthony had a car. Dang.
Yeah.
he got all the checks. All the checks are no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I try to throw in the fact that I'm thinking because of where he's living and moving around so much that he had that it didn't matter where he was at. If something popped off, he had some type of protection for himself. So, and that's I hope they get a good ass lawyer for that self-defense. I hope they go out there. If anybody listen, go look, measure the space between the bleachers, all that, because all this is going to be important with that self-defense. Like, if y'all can milk it, y'all gotta milk this.
Let's just hope he don't get Benjamin Crump ass.
Well, either way,
no,
you need a weapon.
don't.
Whether you're affluent or not, you need something to help protect yourself. So I'm gonna fix that up.
Yeah, but not Ben Crump, because all it's going to be is race. No, we don't need to make this a race thing.
Right, we don't need no damn Benjamin Crump ass.
Society gonna make it a race thing. Y'all too late. They already made
That's
that.
fine. That's fine.
Oh,
But in
yeah,
the
yeah,
court,
they already did
but in the
that.
court,
Yeah.
I don't need this to be a race thing.
So, based
It's
on
done.
sis making a concession, is Asha coon adjacent, or she's just analyzing the physics?
I think she's just
No, I need.
facts.
Yeah, I need
I
more
thought that
information.
went-
I haven't heard her commentary at length or anything like that about anything else to put a coon jacket on her.
I'm about to say, yeah, she
It
don't
take
give
more than just that.
But she said so. Asha said it's murder though.
So I still need more information than that. I need other things to just put a coon jacket on somebody. Just because you have an opinion about one case, that don't mean nothing to me.
What about coon adjacent?
Yeah, I still need more information.
Kelly, shout out to West West. Murder is the case that they gave me.
The other thing is he can say what he want to say. Like he could say, "Touch me, see what happens." Like you can't come grab him at that point either. Hand.
I know, sis, but you want to claim self-defense. That ain't how that looks.
It is how it looks. It's not be how it sounds.
Evasive maneuvers are kind of necessary, not provocative maneuvers.
That money they raised better get a good lawyer. Y'all better be looking at other cases. Y'all gotta play this smart, boy. Y'all got. I'm rooting for the self-defense, but y'all gotta play this right.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me call this out though. Lex keep on saying you need a good lawyer. So why the hell you didn't just say what Asha said?
Because I'm black, and I want everybody else black to win. And if it's a colored thing, it's gonna be black. And if it's another thing, it's gonna be black. But that's what I'm just saying, man. I don't want this to be. I don't think it's all what they're trying to make it to be in the media. But I do recognize it as murder. But I'm hoping that the self-defense thing could go through, because I don't think he had the intent to kill him. I really think he just had the intent to get. I mean, what was the pound difference? It was about 100 pounds, man. Like
Between 60 and 100 pounds.
What you say?
60 pounds.
Oh, I was about to say, round it up. But look, I'm just saying something. It has to. I don't think he did it to kill him intentionally. So.
Okay.
You agree with Asia?
Yeah, I think he poked him to get up out of there. Get away from me.
He did ask if he was all right. So if he was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever watched First 48?
Sometimes.
I seen a nigga say I ain't mean to kill him and put him in the trunk. So what is this? Is Aja looking at the stats, the facts and the logic, and saying, "Hey, this is based on what's being presented to me," and are y'all being emotional about this shit?
No, I'm
definitely emotional about it. I see a young black man life. It appears to be over. I won't even lie. I have two sons. So yeah, I'm definitely emotional about it. I was gonna ask you, Hamp, like, have you weighed in? Like, where are you in with it? As a man, I'm saying.
As I assess it, and just with my experience from what I'm seeing, I don't know if I see a self-defense argument. There's a lot of things that they can point out as antagonizing, especially if Dez's speculation be true. If Dez's speculation is true, that's a body, you know? And then the provocation of touch me twice, right? And if he did ready his bag for a preemptive attack, that's what I'm looking at, right? Do I want him to be guilty of murder? No,
Right.
right? I think everybody is inherently racist, and I'm probably at the top of the totem pole. I wouldn't have moved, period, right?
Right.
But I think I would have been more likely to bang it out.
Right.
So when I look at the facts and the evidence, the law actually is much more black and white than y'all think if you've never
Right.
been subject to it. And
Right.
so I don't know where they're going to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that, like, what his intent was. You
Right.
hope that it's just two kids who have a run in and he has a reaction because you don't control your repercussions. So I think a lot of guys who have size to them, pause, understand that people probably not willing to fight you. You know, so if I get into a fight with somebody, I'm not gonna be surprised if they pull a knife or pull a, you know, I'm kind of expecting it.
Right.
So I think that one thing we have to learn here is you don't control your repercussions. And
Right.
anytime you get in a physical altercation, because it's illegal, there are no rules. You can lose your life at any given point in time. I also know that carrying a gun every day, and when we have road rage incidents and all this stuff, if somebody like did something to me and they pull up beside me, I'm reaching for my gun holster before I roll down the window. And so people defer to their weapons more often than they don't.
Right.
If somebody invited me to a fisticuffs and road rage, I may oblige. But most likely somebody getting shot, especially in a place like Texas.
But this
It's,
is what was that a pause? Or you good?
well, I'm just saying, just to surmise it, I
Mhm.
just don't see the statute of self-defense being met.
But just how you laid out the facts like that,
Yeah.
uh, 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 an attorney's gonna lay him out on the other end. You know,
Lay him out. Be the attorney. Go ahead.
I can't do that right now, but I need more information. But in terms of fight or flight and just immediate response and in a heated moment, you have somebody coming at you. You have to protect yourself. There's nothing wrong. I see a case there as well. You protect yourself.
The sissy, he had options.
That's why I'm saying that he needed
No,
good.
did he have options?
He
See,
did
that's
have options.
no,
He
that's what
stayed
I'm like.
long enough to say it 2 times. He stayed long enough in that moment to ask the question 2 times,
No,
and
because
he had an opportunity.
what he didn't know is what the boy was gonna do when he said try it. The boy could have sat down and went his way, you know. So he can say what he wants, and that's where an attorney is going to lay out. He can say what he wants. He's not supposed to attack him just because he said do it.
I also like to point out that I looked up the law dictionary of what self-defense is, and it says the use of reasonable force to protect oneself or members of the family from bodily harm from the attack of the aggressor if the defender has a reason to believe he, she, they are in danger. That's from dictionary law. So was Carmelo Anthony the aggressor, or was little white boy the aggressor?
Well, I think that you, as
Big
you
white
assess,
boy, big angry white boy.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, big angry white boy.
no, 100%.
Thank you, sis.
I think you got a good point. I think that you glossed over reasonable, and I think that's what
But
they're
that's
gonna call.
subjective.
I know, but that's what they're gonna call into question.
That's why you gotta have
Which
a good
then
lawyer.
good lawyer, and you have a judge, you have jury, because they all have their own sentiments about it too.
Yep. But that's why you
Des,
gotta.
what did you
That's why
what did you
I'm.
look up, Des? What did you look up, Des?
Dictionarylaw.com, what self-defense is in dictionarylaw.com. And it's subjective. That at this point, it comes to who has the better argument. And I'm telling you right now, with all these people backing this young black man, the attorney is probably going to have the better argument. And I'm with sis 1,000%.
But they ain't gonna just go off black people or whatever. Like he has to have a good lawyer, and he has to look at everything. Like they gonna have to come with the thunder. Like I'll be right now. If I was a lawyer, I'll be looking at crime in this area, because I'm telling you, I don't think he had that just for that incident. I really think he had it just in
Let me
case.
give you the context. Crime in this area is low. The most they had was break-ins of cars.
Okay, thank you. He just got the new Mercedes. He's traveling in different
200
areas.
break-ins in a year.
It don't, but I'm saying it does.
Fresno,
all you gotta do is
Frisco. Hold on. Frisco was voted the safest city 2 years in a row.
All I gotta do is create the reasonable doubt in your mind. He has this knife. He's a traveling athlete. He goes to other places in Dallas that are not that safe, so he's making sure that he has some protection. Mind you, he's in a predominantly POC school. Maybe there was fights, and he's still trying to protect himself. I'm like, all I got to do is create the reasonable doubt in the jury. So, I mean, that's stuff I would be looking at.
I don't think him having the knife is the issue, because they ain't charging him with nothing.
Yeah, the knife wasn't illegal, but 80% of his school was affluent. 10% of his school met the requirements for like reduced lunches and things like poverty.
That's small.
But even then, like, again, all I gotta do is create the reasonable doubt in your mind. I will be looking at every single corner, getting all the cases I can get to, because it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard.
And then affluent doesn't automatically mean safe.
No, sis, I understand. I'm just giving y'all the information, right? So they're not in an indigent place, right? The average house in Frisco was $783,000. The average household income was $190,000. 173.
I have
So
a
I'm just
question.
looking at it, right? What
Does
is
this gentleman look like he's throwing up gang signs? That's Austin Matcliffe and his brother. I think that's on his public.
Is he throwing up a gang sign?
That's not a gang sign.
What I'm getting to,
but keep looking.
What I'm getting to,
keep looking.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm getting to, he's Billy Badass, is what I'm saying. He ain't posing like a 3.75 GPA scholar student. That's Billy Badass right there, and that's public. One of his homies tagged him in that picture. So we're not going to sit up here and act like.
No, I think you make an interesting point that his character is not one of not one of innocence of,
I don't think those signs that he was throwing was anything to talk about his character or being Billy Badass. Like, I don't think that, but
his image is not one of, I'm just the kid who plays football and I don't bother anybody. And that's not the only picture we've seen. You know what I mean? So.
No, and they didn't say that either.
Yeah.
His parents said he speak up, he a leader. He, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They didn't act like he was a passive kid.
Right.
But I mean, is it color lines, right? Is that it? Is it racial color lines? Is that the key?
I think there is a lot of racial color lines.
Like, is that what makes it different, right? Like, is that simply put, he black, he get the benefit of the doubt. We need to err on the side of of Carmelo's side because he's black. Is that the long and short of it?
I don't think it's because we just need to hear his side because he's black. I just think everybody is looking to I don't know. Like, this is a tricky ass situation.
I'm more willing to hear his side because he's black.
I'll admit it. Yeah. Heck yeah.
I think the environment plays a factor. to some of the things that they like to pull on Black children. Oh well, his mom is single parent and they grew up. Nope, can't say that. Oh, they're without money. Nope, can't say that. All the other factors that they like to cast on Black people isn't in here. So that's why I'm saying I don't think it's about color. So nah.
But please believe, you know, that picture that dad pulled up or whatever like that. If there was a picture of that of that boy like that, that'd be plastered all over the daggone news. But you ain't gonna see that picture that dad just pulled up nowhere.
Right, and I think it is about color too, because if it was two Black people, I don't think it would be this much chaos or confusion about it.
Well, let me put. I don't think the confrontation between the two boys was racially.
Oh, you know,
that I agree with.
I don't think it was racially free.
And a good attorney would not say that, Alexis. Attorney would say he might have been profiling him, or it might have been racially driven against the Black boy. I wouldn't take that out the equation. Why does he have to move? Why him? Why only him? I would play it would all make sense to me.
Well, why him? Because he wasn't on that team. That would be easily.
I would make it work. I would make it.
But he wasn't even playing track. He wasn't even running track though. He shouldn't even been over there to even spectate whether or not he could sit there or not, because he's not a track person. He don't get to make that call. He's not even on the athletics team for track. So why does he, Mr. Billy Badass, get to make that choice for Mr. Carmelo Anthony? Why isn't the coach saying, Mr. Carmelo Anthony, can you please remove yourself from our tent? Why does a peer have to come up and address him in that way? That don't even run track.
The dead boy ain't on trial. The live boy is. So that's why I wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even go there with it.
But they already went there. They already went to race. So now race plays a part. So now we can't get that now. If race is
well, no. I mean, like the actual altercation between the two, I don't think was racially motivated.
Yeah,
I think we got to worry about the other stuff is when it comes to, you know, the jury and shit like that in public opinion. That's when we got to worry about that race shit.
And they might not even be saying all of what the white boy said, because remember, they are willing to protect their own. They are willing to not go against their own just for the sake of, I don't know, appearing logical. You know what I'm saying? Why call him a murderer without the proof yet? Why do that? We don't have to. We can wait till the trial happens and see what happens. We don't have to be so-called logical or so-called.
But the boy said he did it.
See it from the other point of view.
But the killer said he did it.
Of course, we already know that.
So I mean, the charge of murder is there because he admitted to it, and he also didn't say it.
That wasn't what was in question in regard to what HAMP was asking. So what I'm saying is, we have the choice to take a side, to pick a side. We have a choice to support him. Like that's there's nothing wrong with that as Black people. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't have to. I don't know. I'm trying to say.
I'm not willing to just throw it away.
As a Black person, I recognize like, hey, this is kind of. I mean,
no, I'm more willing to hold out or whatever like that, and hear his side or whatever, because he is Black. If it was just some white boy, whatever like that, I probably wouldn't even be interested in, like, oh well, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Put his ass under the jail type shit. But because he is Black, no, I'm gonna be a little bit more sensitive to the situation and willing to hear out the other side.
Right, I said because you better believe that's what all of the people that look like him are actually doing in real time.
Oh, they don't. For sure.
He got a murder charge quickly, just straight up murder.
So let me read this here. A witness reportedly told Metcalf that Metcalf initiated contact with Anthony by telling him to return to his team's tent, which prompted Anthony to open his bag and reach inside. He also told Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens." Police were told by a witness that Metcalf touched Anthony after the first warning, and Anthony reportedly told him to punch him and see what happens. The witness told police that Metcalf grabbed Anthony and told him to move, which is when witness said Anthony pulled out his knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest. Anthony reportedly ran away after stabbing Metcalf, who immediately was in medical distress and asking for help. WFFA reports. Police were also wrote more than 30 witnesses saw the stabbing, including other students and coaches. Police wrote an affidavit that Anthony was found. He told them unprompted that he was protecting himself before the officer had begun questioning the team. He continued to speak to police unprompted, where reportedly told officers that Metcalf had put hands on me. After he was detained and handcuffed, an arresting officer was reportedly speaking to another officer who had arrived and was advising him that Anthony was the alleged suspect, to which Anthony reported told him unprompted again that I'm not alleged, I did it. WFFAA reports that Anthony asked the officer if Metcalf was going to be okay while he was in the backseat of the vehicle, and also asked if his action could be considered self-defense. The weapon was reportedly discovered in the bleachers at the track during the investigation.
So that's what's going to hurt this case, though. You got witnesses saying one thing. If I'm at the track meet and then I hear commotion and then I turn my head and then I see somebody just stabbing somebody, that's all I see. So, I mean, yeah. Good lawyer, good lawyer, and then also the witnesses too. Because if they taking people from the actual track meet that's seeing this, you got articles indicating and outlining actions and what they observed or perceived that was happening amongst two young men, one being alive and now one being dead.
Immaculate lawyer. And he can't just have a good lawyer no more. That didn't need to be.
That's why I'm kind of like straddling the fence, because being how it played out and some of the stuff that he said, it's like.
See, and white people would simply say he attacked him. If this was roles in reverse, they would say Metcalf attacked him. They would use those key words, attack. They would say he was a threat to him. They would say he tried to kill him. Like they would say it. So like in support of their own. It's just that niggas sit up here and want to pretend like we're not, I mean, or not pretend, just not support their own. They would say he attacked him. They would simply say, like, they would be in full support of their white boy. I don't know why we don't do that. I don't know why we always choose.
I mean, I
support him, but
And meanwhile, sis, he's a killer. That's all right. We're saying that he's a killer. Oh, I'm sorry. That bullet. Hold on, wait. That shot was directly for Alexis. Meanwhile, Alexis, a black woman, telling the entire internet that Carmelo Anthony is a killer without even having a trial, let alone a lawyer or anything else.
Can y'all at least? I don't know why that shot was thrown at me. He said he did it. I mean, but. Either way,
he said
like,
he
made no point.
He
You made no point throwing
him.
that shot. You made no
he
point.
He said he stabbed him, not that he killed him. If anybody's coon adjacent on this panel tonight, it's you.
Baby, bye.
Crazy.
I can't be coon adjacent. I can't.
You just called a black boy who hasn't even been to court a killer. You put that jacket on him without him being proven that he's a killer.
Is somebody dead?
But did he kill him? Did he kill him in self-defense? Did he kill him in self-defense? Or did he murder him?
Okay, so if tell me, I'm still a killer if I kill you in self-defense, or if I don't. So what the fuck is you saying, Dez? You better stop.
All right. You're right.
If I kill a pedophile, am I a killer or a hero?
Still a killer.
How?
Still a killer.
Really?
Still a killer. Batman was a vigilante, was he not? And he still broke the law. He was still a criminal. They still called him that because he was breaking the law by doing what he was doing. I mean, at the end of the day, he did kill somebody. While even though I'm black first, like I said, that other boy was still a child and still somebody else's son. So either way, while you up here trying to talk about, since you throwing shots, while you talking about children and sons, that was somebody else's son as well. So
Coon adjacent. Coon adjacent.
Girl, you don't even know what coon adjacent is. How dare
It's you. You're the
How
poster
dare
child.
you? How dare you?
The poster child is crazy.
That is, it's straight crazy. Like, I bet I could go down more Black history than she can, but I'm coon adjacent. Like, the hell, grew up in one of the most blackest cities, and like, girl, stop, please stop. My son that lives with me, name is Malcolm, because I wanted that name for my son. I ain't no Martin Luther King girl. I'm a Malcolm X girl. Don't go there, Des. Don't go there. You can never call me coon adjacent when your mama ain't Black.
Oh yeah, come on, keep it coming, baby. Keep it coming, because you've been waiting to get that off your chest. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Say that to
Keep
that
it
nigga
coming.
that you with, right?
Keep it coming.
But
Keep
don't
it coming.
no shots. I was up here chilling, and you want to?
What do you mean you're not chilling? You called a black boy a killer. You called a black boy a killer and don't even know the case. You put a jacket on a black boy and he's not.
You don't know the case. You don't know.
You don't know the case, but you put it. Did you or did you not put a jacket on a person that has not been to court? Did you or did you not? Did you or did you not? Did you or did you not label a black boy a killer?
It's okay, Des. It's okay. Anyway, let's get back to the regular scheduled program. Just know if you throw a shot, I'm gonna throw a shot too. And I ain't scared of your goddamn shots because I've been shot for real. So keep that shit over there. Real nigga shit. In the hood. Got shot for real.
And you wear it well, hood bitch. You wear it well.
Yo, this is fucking crazy.
Thank you.
No.
I know I do. But I ain't no damn
Wow.
coon. Get your ass together.
So, why did you call her coon adjacent, Des? Like, what was the specifics on why you said that?
Because before going to trial, before this boy actually had a fair trial, she labeled him a killer. Because what happens if the jury and say, oh no, he didn't murder him, then he's not a killer then. He was acquitted of all charges, but she's allowing him to wear that jacket before even going to court. That is not community. That's not a black woman protecting a black man or a black boy. That's none of that. So you're coon adjacent, in my opinion.
Well, your opinion means nothing.
So, I saw this one thing. It was like, if I kill out of self-defense, that makes me a killer. But the analogy I saw, his girl was calling him a cheater. He's like, I cheated one time. He's like, yeah, you're a cheater. He's like, so if I cut hair one time, that make me a barber?
No.
So if he's acquitted under self-defense, he's still a killer?
Yeah, because he killed somebody. I mean, if you want to put the fancy labeling on why he killed somebody, and you can make the determination on how you feel about naming him a killer or not. But either way, he still killed somebody. And me saying that does not mean that I want, like, the hell, since we talking black stuff, Nat Turner killed a lot of people. Malcolm X has killed somebody. Like, let's stop. So it is just what it is. I hope he gets a good.
I guess. Here's the thing, right? When you claim it's self-defense, right? So if I'm defending my life from you, right, and I kill you before you kill me, right, because I'm had to protect myself. I don't know if to denote me as a killer in that instance makes a lot of sense, right? So if I'm literally defending my life from you, and in order to defend my life, I have to kill you. That makes me a killer, right? The connotation of a killer is that's my modus operandi. Like, that's what I do. But if I'm defending myself from you, and in the process you die, do I get called a killer for the rest of my life? You see what I'm saying?
Well, based on what was stated and the fact that he asked about self-defense afterwards, but I mean, me saying it is not taking anything away from the fact that I do hope that, like I said, somewhere, somehow they might be able to squeak out, because like I said, I got up here and stated from the beginning, I didn't think it was something that he did intentionally. I honestly think, for real, he had that knife for protection, other than them boys or whatever. But I mean, it is what it is. I ain't in the business of tickling people's ears.
Yeah, no, 100%. I just seen people do things, but they're not that thing. You know. So I guess does the application of you are at that because the extreme nature of it are you forever that? You see what I'm saying? Like, what's the deciding factor? Like, as an example, a lighter example, I seen a lot of niggas come play football. They ain't football players. So I guess, but because if it's extreme, that means that you are exactly that. Is that the difference?
Yeah, but our perception may be that one person perception may be that he may be not a killer, but him, the person that actually convicted the crime, that's gonna live with him. He gonna always think that he's a killer. Like, that's never gonna escape him. He gonna know the consequences got me here. What was the consequences that got me here? I in his defense, or everybody's defense on this panel, I defended myself, and now because he defended himself, now he killed somebody and now they're dead. So that's never going to leave him. We could think whatever we want to think, but he's always going to think, I'm here, I'm dealing with these consequences in the interim because I was trying to self-defend myself and now somebody's dead. That's not going to leave him.
Yeah. So Mandrell would have found out there's a difference between being a killer and a murderer. Maybe that's the distinction then. He killed someone, so he's a killer by proxy, right?
Right.
But he's not a murderer. This might be risky. Still, Mandrell. Yeah, that's what we're trying to.
Girl, that's my homie, light skin. Thank you.
Yeah, this Mandrell.
Yeah, that makes
Mandrell was in the
sense.
military. Mandrell was special operations too. So he's speaking from a particular standpoint. But that's what I'm wondering. Like, do you say this person is that, you know, or is it the extreme nature? If you do something once, you are always that. So I'm just trying to understand it, right?
Yeah, but I like what Mandra laid out. I don't think he's a murderer. Like, it's something that he's continually trying to do. But the fact is that someone is no longer living, and his actions are a result of that. And it's messed up. I'm really, because it's young life, man. I hate to see that with a young life, especially a young black life. So
yeah, that's the thing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate, you know. But as black people, do we have an obligation to give him the benefit of the doubt? My last question.
Definitely.
I feel like
why
until
not?
we get the facts.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said I think we do until we get all the facts.
One more time, one at a time. Saw it? What'd you say, Saw?
Oh, I said I feel like we do owe him that until we get all the facts.
Definitely.
I'm
saying, like, if you got a lawyer, what was it? I know y'all heard of that case where the guy broke into somebody's house and the lawyer got him paid when he broke into somebody's house. That's what I'm saying. Somebody need to find that lawyer. Like, somebody need to make something happen, man. Because I don't want it to go down like the way that they trying to make it go down, race wise, or him just being a murderer to a sense of on that type of level.
You think he fucked, don't you?
If they can't prove it from what we have so far, if they find more information, it's different. But from what we have so far and the way it's looking, man.
Yeah, based on the evidence we have right now, that's why I'm kind of like leaning towards I'm opposed to it.
Yeah, but I hope
like saying.
I hope they can get somebody to. That's what I'm saying. Where that lawyer at? Look, we need to measure the space between the benches. We need to get the percentage of the rain, like something, man. Something need to come up because this is not looking good.
By you, how you talk, I just want you to know you think he's guilty.
Yeah, from what we have so far, yeah, like and from what he stated, and man, come on, man, I think it's guilty just on what we have. If there's something more and we can figure something out, that's why I made the comment about the lawyer got the burglar off. Like, goddamn, We need to do something.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the boy. Just the fact that you said how the school is made up is predominantly white and everything like that. I'm thinking if they don't move that trial, that jury is going to be predominantly white as well. And these are adults we're talking about. Race is going to get introduced, racial bias. I mean, it's going to be introduced and all of that kind of stuff into their decision making. So I would make that argument as far as I hope he has a good lawyer, not because I think he's, he doesn't have a self-defense case, but just the makeup of, the potential jury.
Yeah, that trial ain't moving. I mean, he in Frisco, 240,000 people. They got that. It's a trial of your peers, right? So where you live is what you are subject to. So it's gonna the percentage is probably gonna be, if it's 12 jurors and it's 10% black, 10% Latino, you better expect a couple minorities on that panel, more Asians than blacks and Latinos, and then more whites than anything. Right? I think you subject to where you live in all facets. You know. Alex with the $5 says, "Hey Hamp, hey sis, what's popping?" Drake with the $2 says, "Beyond a reasonable doubt will be hard to prove." My brother Will in the building with his $10 says, "Have we forgotten that these are kids?" Aaron with the $2 says, "Sis for president, Des for vice president, Hamp for chief of staff." Drake with the $2 says, "If the knife carrying is legal, that's significant." Yeah, based on what we saw. Alfo J with the $5 says, "Where are the monkey threats that the twins put on social media?" Yeah, so I looked that up pretty quickly. That's a doctor thing that came from Reddit. They didn't find that on his actual Instagram. Aaron with the $2 says, "Why didn't the what's his name? A white boy go get an adult for trespassing?" Dre with the $2 says, "This is insane." We read Dre Mandrell's comment. El Castigado with the $2 says, "If I raped a woman once, am I a rapist?" Yeah, and that's what I'm asking. Like, is it the egregious nature that makes you always that? See, I think y'all think that I don't know all the answers that y'all gonna present. I'm asking questions that get us to provoke the thought, thinking through it. Right? It's 99% chance I already thought of the answers of the questions I'm asking. Sean Antonio with the files. What up? Sean says, "Life lesson: keep your hands to yourself or prepare for the consequences." Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.
What up, buzzing?
I like what Sean said, except when I reverse it and I'm thinking about the consequences that's about to come up on this boy. I mean, it's a real bad situation. It really is. But to answer your question, Hamp, I'm absolutely rooting for him. I don't care what other information come out. I'm still rooting for him. Because I don't want to see him. I don't want to see his life thrown away. And that's what it's feeling like right now.
His life is forever altered, that's for sure. Even if he get a manslaughter, that's 5 years. If they charge him as a juvenile, that'll help his future.
He's 16 or 17.
I think he's 17.
The one who did the 7.
Yeah, I believe.
Because they they consider it 17 instead of Texas. They technically consider you an adult. So I don't know.
I got a question. Is murder 2 like the same as felony aggravated assault?
What you mean?
Murder 2, like, because we have misdemeanor aggravated assault here in Georgia, and we have felony aggravated assault, like for more serious injuries and stuff like that, like somebody dies or whatever. So that's why I was asking. You said there was murder 1 and murder 2 in Texas. I was asking, is that like the equivalent of like a felony aggravated assault?
Murder 2 is a felony. Manslaughter is a felony. You take somebody's life, you're gonna get felony manslaughter, you're gonna get felony murder 2, you're gonna get felony murder 1. It's all felony. I think the distinct difference is between murder one and murder two is murder one is premeditated and planned.
Right. So then murder two would be like aggravated, like something happened to provoke the situation.
Yeah, essentially. Oh, I see
Okay.
what you're trying to understand. Okay, yeah, I think so. Yeah, but your intent is to kill him once you aggravate it, and it's not you're not proactively planning. And then manslaughter is more like it was an accident, but you killed him. You know, vehicular homicide, things of that nature.
And why do you think they went straight for the murder? What would they do? Murder two or murder one?
Murder one.
They went for
Well,
murder.
I know they're overcharged though, like because I was on I had to be a jury for for a murder trial or whatever, and they'll overcharge. They'll get you with the harshest one, knowing that the jury has the option to convict on lesser charges.
I think they have to charge with the others too, though. I think
Yeah, so he's
yeah.
charged. So the terminology is lesser and included offenses. So murder one is the top charge. Then you charge. He's also charged with any if he meets the burden of proof for murder two, he can get that or manslaughter as well. Yeah. So they charge and then everything else is included in his indictment essentially. So lesser included offenses, what you would say. So that shit real, man. That shit real. I guess we gonna find out. What's next? You know? Damn. So, what you think, Ash? Any final thoughts on this?
Man, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Um, I'm still standing strong on how I feel until proven, I guess, until he's considerably proven guilty. But I do want to get more information. But from what we have right now, I'm standing firm on the possibilities of it being a murder case.
Or yeah, man. So, what you think, man?
I still say partial self defense. I still feel like with some of the stuff that he said, it definitely could go down for murder. I don't want that to happen. So I'm still on straddling the fence. So yeah.
I think y'all want to make sure y'all present yourselves as concise.
I can't give you a concise answer because it's not black and white for me. It's not a yes or no. So when I say a partial self-defense and when I say that I'm undecided, if I was in the jury, that would be my take. With the evidence that we have right now, I cannot say is this or that because it's not this or that.
What's partial self-defense?
The partial self-defense is if more context come into play, then I feel like it could be self-defense. But because of him asking, oh, is this self-defense? Then I feel like maybe it wasn't self-defense because it could be a little bit premeditated. So that's why I said what I said. So yeah.
So it can be premeditated, but he could also have been defending himself.
Correct.
That's cognitive dissonance. You're having two conflicting ideas, but you're trying to present them as in unison.
No, it could still be what I said because in my head, like I said, with what he said with the whole is this self-defense, they can take that and run with it. But if there is prior incidents that have occurred for him to feel like he needed to protect his stuff and stand his ground, then it could be self-defense. So I mean, if that's not the answer that you want, I do apologize, but that's my answer.
How would pre-existing or things that happened previously made him have to go under their tent and stand his ground, quote unquote. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so we already discussed that it was raining. We already discussed that he was offered a safe haven or whatever to come under there. So at the end of the day, regardless of the situation, I'm near.
You
So
ever had any enemies?
yeah,
Would you go to their safe haven to be safe?
I'm gonna go where I'm gonna go where I need to go.
Let me
So
ask you a question. You ever had any enemies?
I have had enemies, and what I'm telling you, Hamp, is I'm gonna go where I gotta go. So if that's under the tent where them niggas at, I'm gonna go there. And if they try me because we have this prior stuff, then it is what it is. We're gonna have to go there.
What is it?
What do you mean? What is it?
Sound like mutual beef.
No, or it could have been you think I'm a bitch and I'm not that. So now
Sounds mutual, right? So I think you a bitch. You trying to prove to me you not a bitch, right? And then you come to my territory to prove it to me. You gonna claim self defense at that point?
it's self-defense. It's self-defense because it's not it's not proving it. It wasn't he just went under the tent. He went under the tent because it was raining and because somebody, whoever, told him to go under the tent. So under them pretenses, they didn't have to say get out. They didn't have to do that, but they did. So because they did that, and because there probably could have been other situations, whether it was with them two boys or with other people, he felt like whatever happened was going to happen because he's going to stand his ground. Like nobody's about to just keep on taking shit. Like that's crazy to me.
I got you. So just so I'm clear, I go to enemy territory, something happened to me, and I know I'm in enemy territory, and I'm tired of they shit. I can claim self defense.
Yeah, because I'm not about to tiptoe around nobody. So yeah, y'all like it, y'all don't, y'all love it, y'all don't. I don't care. That's my thoughts. So
No, we just wanted to be cohesive in terms of what we present, and then like how actual is the things that we are saying. You know,
so
like
we never had a hung jury in court before because I'm a little confused.
yeah, what does that mean?
In court, people agree that they cannot decide on the terms of if it's self-defense, murder, or what.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a little confused as what do you want me to say here?
Well, I want you to be cohesive. So I want to make sure that what you're presenting in the earth, right, when this thing gets 4,000 views, is cohesive, as a cohesive and coherent thought. So if you're saying that it's self-defense, but I can go to somebody else neighborhood who I have issue with and then tell them I ain't scared of you and stand my ground, and then I claim self-defense in that aspect after knowing that we already have issues, and then I have a knife on me, and then I'm going to claim self-defense, that sounds much more I'm provoking the situation and I'm premeditating what I want to happen, which is why I got the banger on me at a track meet in a town where they don't even have no murder, death, kills. So that's why I'm asking you to clarify.
I can't clarify it because it's still my thoughts, and that's how the thought process came out. So I understand your point of view and how you want it to go, but that's not how I think. I feel like at this point it's 50-50. Until we got all the evidence and until that shit is put on the floor, we don't know what really went down. So at the end of the day got to end, and my thought is it's partial self-defense. Whether it's
100%. Yeah, I think what you hearing is an opportunity to make sure that we reconcile everything we say. That's all. But if you're saying that it's partial self-defense, which doesn't exist, then we'll just leave it there. Callie, what you think?
Yep. Well, great show. Nice discussion. I think that it is self-defense. I think that him asking the cops is stupid. That's why they tell you to shut the fuck up when you're in handcuffs, because anything you say can and will be used against you, whether the intent was there or not. I think he was just a 17-year-old kid just asking questions like, can this be considered self-defense? Because he feels like that it was self-defense. If I ever change my mind about it, you never know.
Oh, and just to clarify, it is something called imperfect self-defense, or like I stated, partial self-defense. So y'all can Google that on your own time too.
What does it mean?
I'm not about to go through all that, but
You said it. You said it like you was gonna prove
so
something. So now tell us
okay.
what it means.
So a partial self-defense is a legal doctrine that in some jurisdiction can reduce a murder charge to manslaughter when the defendant acted under an honest but unreasonable belief that deadly force was necessary for self-defense.
Self-defense. So you're saying that they claim self-defense and they get convicted. So are you looking for a lesser conviction of the claim of self-defense? Or are you looking for exoneration? Because if you're saying somebody's claiming,
I think it's going to be a lesser I think it's going to be a lesser charge. Whether that is manslaughter, I don't think it's going to be a murder charge.
okay, so you're saying self-defense in terms of he shouldn't be punished with murder one is premeditation.
Correct.
Because if you want to do it, I could do it, but it's not going to go how you think it's going to go. When I tell you I'm giving you an opportunity to clarify your points, that's what I'm doing. If I wanted to run you down, I would.
I understand that, Hemp, but this is my only.
And I don't do the sum thing, right? So nobody comes up here and changes my rules. So when I don't say some, I strategically don't say some. So I need people to stand on a point so we can further the conversation.
I understand that, but I don't know. I said this in another show. How I process my thoughts and how it goes in my head, I can't give you what you want at that very moment because that's not how it is in my head. So it's either I don't say anything or we're going to walk it down like we just did so I can fully get my thoughts out. But because of how my brain works, I can't just give you what you want at that very moment.
But that's the actual point. So what it is, an opportunity for you to continue to mind it out and walk it down. Because I don't want them to leave with like, what the fuck is Side talking about? You know? So I just want you to make sure that we understand the premise of the point that you're standing on, as opposed to people being like, what the hell does that mean? You know? So what the clarification inside is that you're saying him presenting that should be a lesser charge because of his intent.
So that's correct.
Yeah, so intent matters.
Yeah, under what we got right now, I don't feel like it's a murder charge, but I think it is definitely going to be some type of conviction.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think what you're articulating is more so the intent of what he did and why he did it. And I think I would agree with you that I don't think that he was trying to kill him, or I don't think that he was intending to kill him. I don't think he went there planning to kill him. So I tend to agree with you that he reacted based on the circumstances, and then this is the outcome. But to your point, I think the intent is more so I'm sick of I ain't running, I ain't moving. And then he pulled a banger and hit him in the chest, and that's something he couldn't recover from. So I agree. Dr. G, what you think?
Really, really tough situation. I do, just to be succinct, I do think it's self-defense. I also think that we need to have more conversations about situational appropriateness. This young man's life is about to be forever altered. And I just think that, we know where we are. Des alluded to the fact that Black men cannot be victims in these Americas. So what does that mean in terms of how we make decisions? If we know this, if this is factual, you're not going to ever be seen as a victim. The law is going to be trying to throw you away. So how does that impact your decision making when you get into these sorts of altercations? Now, this is a young boy. This is not a man. I realize that that's different. I do. I take that into account, but I still want us to be able to have the conversation, even with our children, right? So self-defense for me, no matter what comes out, I still want to say self-defense because I want to see this young boy still have a chance to live somewhat of a normal life, right? That's what I'm thinking about. Yes, I'm emotional about it. I have 2 sons, and I would be devastated if something like this was happening to either one of them for whatever the reason, right? I don't want to see them going up against this judicial system for anything. Traffic, certainly not an accusation of potential murder, right? Or, murder one or whatever it is. And so, yeah, I think that there needs to be some more thinking about the consequences that come with the decisions that we make in these situations. Great show. Happy to be a part of the panel with these lovely ladies. And I look forward to doing it again.
Indeed. Thanks, sis.
I'm just glad he chose to produce something, protect himself when this white boy chose to attack him. It's unfortunate that he hit him in the wrong spot and the boy didn't make it. I do agree with that. And now he is going to have to go through this Caucasian driven system. That's the unfortunate. I just wish we would actually stand 10 toes behind him versus wavering. They're not wavering on his end. He's just this boy. He's just a little white teen. You notice they're saying he's a teen. He's a teen. They're both teens, but they're calling the other one a student versus a teen. This teen died. They're gonna stand behind him despite whatever his real character was in real life. They're not even gonna mention it. But here we will. We won't. That's the part that frustrates me. We don't stand 10 toes. The wavering sucks. Listening to the men a little bit earlier, I had to click off. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I almost threw my goddamn phone when some of them were talking, and they are Black men. I said, this is sick. And I would never want my son to sound like that, not a day in his life. I want him to be proud to be Black and stand behind other Blacks. 10 toes. Don't waver. For what? If he did it, so what? Look, like you don't gotta snitch on him. So what? Mind your business in a way, to a degree. It's like degrees to this. You don't always gotta throw your own under the bus. They don't. They protect each other. They really do. That's what frustrates me.
Word. Yeah, Alexis.
Great conversation. At the end of the day, 2 lives will be forever changed for this incident. I hope that the Carmelo is able to get over this and able to move on with his life. I pray some type of peace for the other side. Yeah, that's about it. And I just want to touch on real quick, because we are all here talking, and a lot of us are, I guess, all kinfolk to an extent. So in this conversation, I can be honest with y'all and tell y'all how I feel about it, even if it doesn't look good. But that's a conversation that I'm having amongst y'all. So as far as when I'm going out and saying it to anybody else, I mean, hey, it is 10 toes down. But when I'm amongst my people, I should be able to say, hey, if it's smelling funky, then it's funky sometimes. And God made Texas first and everywhere else, of course.
Indeed. Des.
I'm a Black, Mexican, and Puerto Rican woman believes that the white boy was the aggressor, and Carmelo Anthony is a young Black boy who was in a situation of fight or flight, and he used his best judgment to protect himself. So I'm standing with Mr. Carmelo Anthony on self-defense.
Yeah, it's a very tough situation, man. I hope that it could come out on the side of right, meaning the provocation was enough to where the self-defense claim can be proven. I know what it's like to see them white boys who act like they shit don't stink and they had an entitlement and they walking around there talking that shit, and he dolo and all that. You know what I'm saying? I understand how how that can manifest. Because I definitely wouldn't have moved. We definitely would have had to see what it was about for sure. You know, I'm a firm believer in being in as many fist fights is that you do not control what they got, repercussions, none of that shit. And so I think that for people to expect people to fight fair is stupid as fuck and unrealistic. I don't give a damn where you at because you don't know other people's trauma. You know, so I think that's one thing that I try to make sure that we need to thoroughly understand. People be going through a whole lot of shit. There's this movie I saw with the nigga who played Gladiator, Russell Crowe. I don't know if y'all saw it, where he was in a road rage incident with this lady and he chased her down the whole movie. But it turned out he just got a divorce and some more shit. So she beat that the wrong nigga and he chased her down the whole fucking movie.
He was not letting up on that lady, and that's the crazy thing.
So yeah, right. And so we see that. I'm just looking at how I know the law to work, and to prove these things can be quite difficult. Hopefully, these 30 witnesses, somebody has some video about something, right? That can give us a clarity on what it is, and we don't have to speculate. I think the kid asking questions while in chain or locked up, I don't think he said anything too crazy because I think he thinks that he was defending himself. So when he's talking like that, as an ignorant person, as it comes to the law, because the police gonna let you talk after they give you the Miranda, and contrary to proper belief, just because they put him in cuffs, don't mean they have to give him the Miranda right then and there either. You know, so there's nuance to even that, right? People seem to gloss over a right to remain silent. Anything that will be used against you, and all your words can be twisted. But he don't know no better. He don't know no better. So it's a lot that goes into it, man. But I think that the benefit of doubt is warranted because the law states you innocent until proven. So I think that alone allows for everybody to get benefit of the doubt whenever they get arrested. Right? There's a joke amongst lawyers where you can indict a ham sandwich. Meaning indictments are kind of easy to come by. You know, but you got to go through the process. So I think that we here now and we'll continue to assess it and go from there, man. But this shit it's a bad situation. It's a bad situation, man, for sure.
And that we can all agree on.
Yeah. But I'm going to ask the fellas about what sis said for sure. We pussy, Carmelo ain't. That's crazy. So niggas gonna roll over in their grave when I tell them that shit.
I don't know how you sat through that panel earlier. Oh my God.
Listen. Just listen. Jonathan, but the fellas, why stay stuck in what you think if something better is presented? Women be sounding crazy, ellipsis. And then they say, oh, well, it is what it is. Jay Miller with the 10 ounces. I wonder if Carmelo is proud he stood 10 toes or if he wished he was at home playing video games with a bright future ahead of him.
That Cal Talent shit I don't like. But no, I said if I ever change my mind, nobody would ever know. That don't mean that I ain't changed my mind. That means I ain't gonna say nothing publicly against the boy.
No, I think this is what actually happens, right? You defend yourself in a situation, you get prosecuted for it. Of course you wish you weren't in prison. Of course you wish you weren't facing the consequences, but that's how hindsight is. But then you question a man and say, do you still not defend yourself in the process? You see? Like you gonna face repercussions that you don't like, right? But that doesn't disprove why you did what you did either. It doesn't make it not justified, right? If somebody did something to my kids, I'm gonna fucking dismantle them limb by limb, and I'm gonna say, man, being in jail fucking sucks. I wish I was at home playing video games. You see, right? I'm still gonna be wishing I was at home, but if I had the opportunity, I would dismantle that person again. That's just how shit be working. You know, so I think that's the breakdown. You know, hey, y'all did a good job today, man. I hope that, honestly, I think that the best case is what Saad was presenting, to where because the intent isn't premeditated or he didn't mean to kill, that it's a manslaughter charge that carries like 5 to 8 years or 10 years, something like that. And you can get out with 85% of the time with a violent, but the exoneration, I'm just not so sure, Will with the 10 ounces. I understand that you guys are black, but you're also mothers. So is there any empathy for the mother who lost her son in this situation?
No.
I feel like yes, because it's a loss on both sides. Like I think Dr. G or one of the ladies said, like, it's still another grieving parent. I wouldn't wish losing a child on no one, to be honest.
Anybody else?
Yeah, that was Lex that said that, talked about the other side. It's hard for me to even think about that side, to be honest. I'm more laser-like focused on what's going to happen with this Black family, to be blatantly honest and, upfront. So I'm sure she's in pain, but it's hard for me to even think about it because I know what the Black mother feeling. I can resonate there. So
yeah. Mandrell with the $5. If someone attacking you, they don't get to tell you how to defend yourself. Damn. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see what manifests.
And that's the problem. He think about empathy for the attacker. That's the issue with us.
Mandrell, not Mandrell, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Will, you know.
Whoever asked Will, yeah, that's the problem. He's the attacker.
As mothers, no, I'm a Black mother, so I have empathy there.
Yeah. And white folks have it way easier than Black people any damn way. She probably already in grieving counseling. Meanwhile, this Black mother probably is still trying to figure out how to pay for her son's lawyer. I can never empathize for the pink people. They have it way easier than us from the moment that they're born.
Yeah, they said both sides raised about $300,000 so far. Crazy, boy.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, man. We're gonna follow this thing down because the nuance of this is interesting. Because it's not with the police and shit, like it's just a different, it's just different. So, because it's civilians and their kids. So, till next time, I think I'll do members only, maybe tomorrow or some shit. I gotta travel tomorrow, so we'll see. All right, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.
We out.
Mr. Fantastic with the 20 ball set. This is the worst of the worst of Black people, man. Y'all's obsession with white people brings out the worst of us. These were kids and people told you your son was killed. You wouldn't be like, in parentheses, or excuse me, in quotations, he should have kept his hands to him. Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic coming through on the bottom of the ninth inning.
No, you ain't talking baseball talk.
He the one that sis talking about.
Oh, all right.
Let's try this again.
Like, share, subscribe. Salute to Miss Fantastic. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Yo.